483-3030.
An attempted jailbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo has left almost 130 people dead.
On Monday at around 2 a.m. in the morning, some inmates set on fire the administration block and a couple of other buildings. So in the process, some of the inmates, out of panic, attempted to find their way out and just to run away from the fire. So a stampede occurred. Almost 129 people died. This was a breakout that has never been witnessed before, because we had a similar incident in 2017, but the scale of this is huge.
The BBC's Richard Kagoy. Heavy monsoon rains and flooding killed at least 33 people in southern India and 5 children in Pakistan over the past 2 days. Since June, at least 170 people have died across India's 6 northeastern states due to severe flooding. Townhall.com. 4+ years after the pandemic sent workers home, the office property bill finally coming due.
The market for office buildings has been crushed by high borrowing costs, and while the Federal Reserve is at last preparing to cut interest rates, it may be too little too late. The market's troubles have caught the attention of Congress. Faced with vacant office buildings and a shortage of millions of homes to meet demands, a bipartisan group of lawmakers is trying to make it easier for developers to convert underused properties into housing. Republican Congressman Mike Casey of Ohio introduced a bill this summer establishing a temporary 20% tax credit for qualified property conversion expenditures. California Democrat Congressman Jimmy Gomez says, quote, "The pandemic caused a seismic shift in work patterns. We see these vacant office buildings as a well of untapped potential." Bernie Bennett reporting from Washington.
New York's Columbia University, epicenter of last spring's campus movement against Israel's war in Gaza, bracing for the return of protesters this semester. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah.
It's not Monday.
I have been saying Monday all day today. I mean, it's fine if you're in, finance or something, but if you work in a business where you're in, 2/3 of what you do for a living is to tell people what day of the week it is.
And you're wrong?
Yeah. Time and temperature and day of the week. That's pretty much all I'm here for.
Yep. It's got all the feelings of a Monday, but it is actually Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you had a Labor Day weekend. Almost a day.
Well, and that was the other thing is yesterday felt so Sunday-esque. Like I was here doing some work, and I'm like, oh, the countdown's on right now. No, it wasn't.
And then the fact that we had almost an all-day rain.
No, it was all-day gloom. Like we had to pick we had to pick a little pocket of afternoon from 2:30 to 3:30, so the kids could go to the park because it was cool enough to play.
Yeah.
But just enough dryness where everything wasn't
in the
soaked.
afternoon it kind of moved out. It was just more cloudy. But yeah, up until mid-afternoon, it was pretty much a steady drizzle on and off all day. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, to the point where I'm like, oh boy, I gotta wash my hoodie. I'm gonna need that soon.
Well, and I remember because I slept in on the weekends as I do, but I remember getting up yesterday and it was around 7. I woke up and of course because it was so dark, it felt like it was 5 a.m. So I'm like, it's 7? No way.
I know.
7. This is, and I fell back asleep for another 20, 30 minutes. Sure. But I ended up getting up at like 8, and I'm like it feels like it's 6 a.m, man.
Yep.
It's weird.
And that's something that people in who work for like a morning shift really understand is it's very hard to sleep in past like an 8 a.m.
Yeah.
To force yourself to sleep continuously, unless you're really tired.
Yeah.
Which I get that. I used to do graveyards too.
Breaking news over the weekend, in case you missed it. Yesterday on Netflix, they had a live Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi in a hot dog eating contest.
I didn't get to watch it.
I didn't either, but I saw the results.
But
this morning.
yes, I did too. And
spoiler, Joey Chestnut
Jaws
broke his record.
Jaws took it. And in grand fashion, I think his old record was like 70-something. He had 86 hot dogs.
I knew it was 80-something. It was like 83 or 86 or something.
Here was the stipulation. The added, because I haven't like watched it yet, but the added Netflix stipulation was they had to eat bun and hot dog together.
Ooh, as the good
I
Lord
think they
intended.
could still do the Kobayashi dip.
Right.
But they had to eat the bun and hot dog
as
together.
the good Lord intended.
Right.
They come together.
Right now.
I like that because, well, I've never competed in a hot dog eating contest, nor do I have a desire to. But I gotta imagine dipping the bun in the water and then eating the bun, and it doesn't seem.
It's not a pleasant experience.
Exactly. I'm like, but if I'm going to do this, I'm going to enjoy it.
You're not doing this for the joy of the game. You're doing this for the accolades.
But in my head, I am. No, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to enjoy the hot dog. I'll eat 10 of them, but load these bad boys up. I want relish.
Right. A little chow chow on there, fancy it up, a little pickle, maybe
mustard,
go Chicago style.
Little crowd.
That being said, I'm such a huge fan of Joey Chestnut. Like I followed his career, but it's real hard to watch him compete because it's so gross.
Oh yeah, it's revolting to watch.
The way he just takes two and just shoves them into his face.
Where he is a true professional at that craft, if you call it that.
Have you ever heard what he goes through to get himself prepared?
Oh, I know. There's a whole.
It's an expansion and contraction thing of his gut that he'll like drink like 2 gallons of water and then like nothing for 2 days. And
I'd be very curious to see what these people's health is like in 10, 15 years. You know what I mean? Like when they hit that. Like Joey's got to be getting there, right? How old is Joey?
I mean, he's probably in his 40s.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's gonna be talking about all those, older people problems pretty soon. And a guy that does that to his body, I can't imagine that digestive system's in tip-top shape.
It's funny. Most of the competitive eaters out there, like most of the ones who actually like are in the magazines and make the money, the sponsorship dollars, they're relatively healthy people outside of competition.
I would imagine
like they're relatively thin. They they work out. They have a regimen of working out and stuff.
You got to when you're putting that many calories in you at once, your body will react.
Yeah, or you're going to turn into Otis. You're going to.
I mean, you're going to have gout when you're, it's just going to happen.
That's rich man's disease right there. You're just bragging at that point. Oh, you got gout, did you? Ooh, good for you. Good for you and your class.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it, nor do I want to watch it.
I want to watch it. I intend to. I just don't have Netflix.
I'm oddly curious, but the fact that to see the grossness that is people putting this in their mouth, I don't want to watch. It's gross.
Yeah, it's for the love of the game, though, man.
Yeah. I mean, because you're waiting for the puke moment. Everyone is, and to be honest, you're not going to see it with Kobayashi. And these two are like they're not noobs, man. They're not. They're gonna.
And by the way, props to Kobayashi too, because he beat his own personal record, I believe 63. But
it wasn't good enough.
He's been out of competition for a number of years. He retired like several years ago for the sake of his health.
Well, doesn't he make a bunch of money on YouTube or whatever now?
See, and I thought that was him, but it's a different Kobayashi.
Oh, is it? Okay.
There's another guy I follow on like TikTok.
Like his brother is like Gallagher 2 out there running around.
But he makes these like bizarrely gigantic Japanese style dishes. Like he'll make like noodles or some weird thing. And then he'll just consume the whole thing on camera. No. Or he'll make like a 17-layer sandwich and just sit there and eat the whole thing.
Okay.
But they do it in jump cuts. So you see he just finishes it and he goes, pushes the plate away. You're a weird guy, man.
Now, did they eat Nathan hot dogs?
I doubt it.
Because I know...
I highly doubt it.
That's why Chestnut couldn't do it, because he's endorsed by not Nathan's now.
I want to say or assume that it was all beef hot dogs because the competition was called Unfinished Beef. So, and since they're used to eating Nathan's hot dogs, I would imagine it's probably like an all beef ballpark.
I think the Hebrew people were like,
or Hebrew National
people were like, hey, we got you. Come on in.
Right. And that's where the tail of the tape's going to come in because they're going to watch it. You're going to be, when they do like the side by side, you'll see whoever's on the banner. That's clearly the sponsor.
Well, then guys like Nathan's are going to be like, see, because they didn't use a Nathan's hot dog, they really eat more because there wasn't the
bundling
proper
hot dog. Yeah, that's
they're going to hit him with all that.
That's how they cut it down.
There's an asterisk next to that record.
It's so funny because if you ever watched like boxing weigh-ins, and then when they do the thing for the poster,
the pose, they'll
get like right up, or he'll put his hand on his chin. It's so funny to see the same thing, but for competitive eating, because they're like just mad dogs stare down at each other, and they're just like with a hot dog right at the mouth, just ready to go.
So it was like the because like in intimidating in like the MMA or boxing fights. Sometimes the guy will kiss him or do something weird. Do you think like the move is to like take a bite of the other guy's hot dog?
Just to throw him off his game. I want to say the only time, this is kind of off topic, but the only time I think I've ever seen Donald Trump genuinely laugh, laugh. Guffaw, exactly, was in that picture he did with Logan Paul, where they did the stare down tail of the tape, and just after that he broke and he that's the first time I think I've genuinely seen Donald Trump laugh.
Yeah,
it was a joyous experience. It's like, look at that. It's like, aw, just to see it break for just a second. It was adorable, but I think it's the only time I've ever seen it. So those tail of the tape things, it's got to be real hard to keep that.
Oh yeah, well they know it's a bit.
Straight face.
Unless like the people are legit mad at each other. Yeah, it's a bit. You know what I mean, they're all trying to get paid just like everybody else. So, but hopefully everyone had a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and we'll have more stories of the weekend. I had a good weekend. I did some fantasy football, hung out, and it's Sunday and cooked out and had fun and did our fantasy football.
Nice.
Monday, Saturday did some stuff around the house, just kind of low key, but yeah, pretty good weekend overall. So
good stuff.
We'll talk about it later in the show. We do have a full slate for you. We're gonna have Robert Sherman join us here in mere moments from the Walker Aviation Museum to join us, give us an update. Of course, we have Museum Day coming up September 14th, and Walker Aviation Museum is among the museums participating. 7 museums, wanting you to visit them all that day to win prizes. So we'll probably talk a little about that and just get an update what's going on at Walker Aviation Museum with Robert here in just a few.
It's like a pub crawl, but for knowledge.
That's right. Pretty cool, actually. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview with John and Crystal Noble. They joined us from Roswell Seed a week or so ago. We'll play that interview. And then Steve Alvarez with Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge joined us last week. This weekend is Dragonfly Festival. Saturday's the big all-day everything, but they technically get underway Friday night with a talk and then a star party, and then all-day Saturday, and then even tours on Sunday, too. But, we'll play our interview with Steve Alvarez here in just a few, or in the 9 o'clock hour about that. And, of course, we'll have all of your features that include the newses of the local, national, variety, Wall Street business updates, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do any of that, let's take a look at your weather. A kinder, gentler weather than before. No talk of rain, but the temps are manageable. Maybe almost New Mexico fall-like this week. That's what I'll go with.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting some sunshine with a few clouds today. Scattered showers around the area, but drier air is moving in. Fairly comfortable daytime highs, though. Our afternoon highs today in the mid to upper 70s. Overnight will be clear, lows near 60, and then plenty of sunshine coming up for Wednesday. And still pretty nice on those temperatures, low to mid 80s. Sunny, and we're in the upper 80s on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 62 degrees here in Roswell. It's nice to say 62. I know it's granted it's 7 in the morning, but that means it was colder than that overnight, which is nice, to say that. So 62 currently here in Roswell. Humidity is at 80% with winds out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Mostly sunny today. Highs expected to get near 80. Near 80. 78 is what they're saying our high today. I'll take that all day. Winds out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. For tonight, partly cloudy skies. Overnight low of 60 degrees with southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny, mid-80s tomorrow, 84 for a high. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 64 degrees. South winds 5 to 10. 86 and mostly sunny for Thursday. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. They are saying a 20% chance of rain Thursday night. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 63. Friday, sunny and 87. Friday night, mostly sunny, 62 mostly clear, not sunny. That'd be weird. Mostly clear, 62 for an overnight low. And then looking at the weekend, 86 and sunny for your Saturday. For Sunday, 88. And then 89 Monday of next week. So looks like we'll be floating in mid-80s for most of the week. Today a little bit cooler, but I'll take it. This is pretty nice weather. All right, 7:18. We're going to take actually about a 2-minute break. We'll get you into your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten. Since the Labor Day holiday, they're doing it today. So we'll get that. We'll get that for you, and then quick break. And then on the other side, Robert Sherman will join us here from Walker Aviation Museum. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A lighter Tuesday, September run following Labor Day Monday, and some good rains in the area, but a good selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves and light yearlings. We expect to sell 800 head, breaking down like this: 150, 175 weighing cows and bulls, 50 to 75 pairs of bred cows, 550, 600 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 20 to 25 cow-calf pairs, mostly young pairs with good calves at their side. Also 23 bred cows. The Smith Ranch at Hobbs, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white fakes, Angus and Brangus crossbred cows, bred to Angus and Hereford bulls. These cows 8 to 10 years old. 34 rope and size calves. The Cane Ranch, Van Horn, Texas. Excellent quality Charolais crossbred calves, 150 250 pounds. 35 calves, Mr. Sam Sheffield, Lakewood, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white face Brangus cross calves, cattle weaned 30 days, Bova Shield Gold, 1 shot, 7 weight, bunk broke 400, 500 pounds. 78 calves, Crown J&J Ranch, Artesia, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white face Angus and Brangus cross calves, Bova Shield Gold, Enforce 3, 8 weight at Brandon, 350, 500 pounds. 39 calves, Patricia Schaefer, Artesia, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white face, red white face English crossbred calves, Bova Shield Gold, 8 weight at Brandon, 275, 375 pounds. 50 calves, Cross D Ranch, Artesia, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus cross calves, Enforce 3, 7 weight, 375, 475 pounds, and 23 calves, ML Ranch at Artesia. Excellent quality black white face Angus cross calves, cattle weaned, 2 rounds of Pyramid 5, 7 weight, 500, 650 pounds. Sale time this morning 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 9:45. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10 to 10:30. Fairly short on cows today, so don't be late. We expect to sell 800 head. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, back from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman with us. Good morning, sir. How you doing today?
Morning. I walked outside, and I thought maybe I should go back and get a jacket.
I was about to say, it's like, hey, it's chilly out.
This is different, yeah. Even last night, walking my dogs about 10 o'clock, it was like a little chilly, but not that bad.
A crispness. It's nice. Nice change of pace.
Good.
But, of course, for folks not familiar, Robert or someone from the Walker Aviation Museum joins us once a month here, and we give folks an update on what's happening at Walker Aviation Museum. And if you're not familiar, the museum is located inside the Roswell Air Center in the air terminal there. And the museum has a focus on, the base that was down at the south end of town, Roswell Army Airfield, and later Walker Air Force Base. And so the museum covers the history of that, the people and stuff. And then also the Cold War era, this part of the country, Roswell in particular, and the early years of the Cold War and the ICBMs, those first generation ICBM missiles. Roswell was home base for a lot of those during that time. So,
sure was.
So the museum focuses on the history of that and the history of that, and plus with for a modern day, the mission of the museum is to promote STEM related careers and careers in the aviation and aircraft industry and things like that. Kids can, and adults for that matter, can do anything from learn more about what's available in the industry to start the first steps and continue your steps to becoming a pilot at some point. You could do all that through programs through the Walker Aviation Museum. That's all available to you. So that's what we do at the museum.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we well, there are several things I was going to talk about today. We are getting ready for the Museum Day coming up on Saturday, September 14th, from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m.
Yes.
And we've ordered, 4 or 5 little books on paper airplanes. So I'm going to get some stuff so kids can come by and make some paper airplanes.
So a little bit of engineering there, design the perfect airplane.
And I'll go into some details of what we can do and what we can't do during this
and for folks not
event.
familiar, what's happening on September 14th is it's Roswell's, I guess we'll call it second annual because they did this last year, Museum Day.
Second annual. Right.
Yes, there's seven, I guess you could say 7 major museums in the city of Roswell have all partnered up to basically offer what's called a passport program, and they would love to have folks go to all 7 different museums on that Saturday. Fill out your passport, which if you're watching on the video, you can see you got them in the mail. You can get them at all 7 of the museums right now and get those filled out, and then you can win prizes and all that stuff. But we really want you to go out and check out all these museums. Now, Walker Aviation Museum is one of those 7 museums participating, along with the Roswell Museum and Art Center, the McBride Museum on the campus of New Mexico Military Institute, the International UFO Museum, the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, the Anderson Museum of Contemporary Art, and the Miniatures and Curiosities Museum as well, along with Walker Aviation Museum. Those are the 7 museums that will be participating on September 14th. And so each museum will have special different things, activities and stuff going on, and including Walker Aviation Museum.
Did you mention NIMI?
Yes, McBride Museum is also on there too.
Yeah,
NMI,
Yeah, and only with this card, if you have this card, and it's like a passport, you can get in free to the UFO Museum. You can't, so you have to have this little passport.
Now, here's the thing. Now, before you go to the UFO Museum, you got to already have the passport.
Right.
Because they're one of the museums that charge, and so they want to let locals who have the passport in for free, but it's a Saturday. They get terrorists.
They're not going to have a stack of these passports and say, I'm going to go do this so I can get in free and then leave.
They want them to pay so they can, but this is for locals. So please get your passport. If you hopefully you got in the mail and you can set it and you didn't throw it away, you got it. But if you did, you can visit any of the 7 museums prior to the date, prior to September 14th, and get a copy of it, get a passport here. It's this yellow postcard that Robert and I are holding here, and then on the back has got the different places you check in at. And now the UFO Museum will be doing check-ins and all that, and you get in for free, but they're not going to be giving out these on Saturday. So just be note of that. You can go to the other museums and get them, though, because they don't charge.
Right. So kind of what that's going to entail is, like you come to, say, the Walker Museum, and when you come, we'll have a little ticket. And other people may have something else, but you put your name and your phone number and maybe your address, and then when you get through and get ready to leave, you put that into a little jar in each individual museum.
Yep.
And then at the end of that, around 5 o'clock, end of the day, we will reach in there and pull out a ticket, and that person will have won the Walker Aviation Museum SAG bag.
Could do.
Which consists of stuff that we gave all the other 6 museums.
Okay.
Plus what they gave us.
Okay.
So everybody gives it out to all 7. So you'll get a little collection of little, things that represent all 7 museums in that SAG bag.
And usually some value to
and you
them.
win that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like ours was worth, I don't know, about $100.
Yeah, each have a value to it, and so you enter by going around, getting your passports filled out, and then dropping your name into those, like I said, entries at each of the different museums to get registered. And so that's kind of the carrot we're dangling to get people to come out to the museums. But the real reward is seeing the coolness that each of these museums possess.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, if you've never spent time checking out all the cool stuff going on in the Walker Aviation Museum, then I invite you to make the 14th your first day to go do that and check it out.
So if you arrive, say, at our museum and you've already had everyone stamp all of these, they have a particular stamp each museum is going to use, then we would go ahead and tear off this bottom. And
then keep it for the drawing.
Yeah, we keep it. Only if you've already done all the rest of them.
Sure. So wherever your last stop is, that's where you'll get
then
that.
Come 5 o'clock, all 7 museums, except for the main art, which one? Historical Roswell Museum.
Okay.
We'll take the little receipts here, the names and stuff, over to the Roswell Museum, and we'll have a drawing. And each museum needed to donate about $100 worth of stuff.
Okay.
Or just give them some cash.
Gotcha.
So what the winner of these passports will win equivalents of about $700.
Yeah, it's a pretty substantial
Right.
prize. But put it this way. If you win it, I got a feeling you're not paying for a meal in Roswell for a while because there's going to be enough gift cards and meals and things in there.
That's right.
You're eating free for a while.
That's absolutely true.
But it is really cool, and I invite you to please get your families together and participate. Go to each 7 of these museums. They're all. I guarantee there's going to be something that each member of your family at one of the 7 is going to just get stuck in and want to spend more and more time checking out. And every single one of these museums is so cool. They got so much different stuff.
Oh, they do.
Obviously, with Robert here and Walker, there's so many cool history things, and it's, to be honest, the Walker Aviation Museum is such more a history of Roswell than it. I mean, yes, we talked about the planes, the military, and the missions it served, and all the important things that came out of that base, but that base is really the people of the base as much as the baseball team's life on the base back in the 50s, 60s, and 40s. And
if you're
like
a teacher or a student at Goddard High School, when you go to school, it's a spinoff from the Cold War, because right after Cuban Missile Crisis, that was really critical because at that time we had B-52s on alert with atomic weapons. We're surrounded by Atlas missiles on alert, and so Roswell was a key target. And so when a year later, when they decided they're going to build a second major high school in Roswell, then they built all the classrooms underground.
The bomb shelter. Why do you think Goddard looks the way it looks?
They even built decontamination showers in there that you never see if you go there, but you can find them.
I went to a high school that was built in the same era.
Yeah.
My high school back in Maryland, Thomas, is very much like Goddard. It has the underground.
Yeah.
Like there was a whole part of that school that's underground. And
that wouldn't have been built underground if it wasn't.
Yeah.
If Roswell, say, didn't have a base here or didn't have missiles.
I think a lot of high schools built in the 60s around that time were kind of shared that same blueprint, so to speak. Yeah. Yeah. I went to high school very similar to Goddard.
I think there's an elementary school in Artesia that's underground too.
Oh yeah, Yeso, or is that the name of it? Don't forget. But yeah, that one was actually in like National Geographic. It was in a major
was it really?
Publication. They were talking about the history of that school. So, yeah.
Before I go much further, I'm going to divert a little bit, just for a second. Everybody can mark their calendars coming up. Not everybody, but we have about 48 civic organizations and service organizations that we identified. And the Kiwanis Club is sponsoring, and with some help from other folks, but a get-together on Thursday night, the 10th of October. At the Civic Center, there's going to be a supper, dessert, and a dance with a disc jockey. So maybe meeting around 6 and terminating around 9:30, whatever. But we've been going to be sending out some emails to everybody and trying to get the information so that they can come and let us know, what the current name of the organization, if required, who the current president is, and name 3 of your most important charities or accomplishments or activities during the last 12 months. And the best, just stuff like that. So we're getting you ready so you can get your folks there, and just a thing for Roswell.
Excellent. Yeah, so Kiwanis Club's putting that together. So reach out to our Roswell Kiwanis here.
But we're trying to include all the, 48 different service organizations, civic clubs,
sure,
all kinds of stuff like that.
There's so many great organizations in town that do great things for our community, and we want to, get them together and even network a little bit.
Just kind of a matter of networking.
Yeah.
And, we kind of all doing the similar things. And
if you got 10 people doing the same thing, maybe we can triage it to do so we get more ground covered here a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is a networking opportunity here to be for your civic organizations, really. Yeah, I like it.
We already covered some of this. Unfortunately, in the past, they think, let's go to the Walker Museum because they got 2 flight simulators. Well, that is kind of it's a little more complicated than that. We need to have people sign up and come as a group, because each time you get a student on to a flight simulator, you actually need to give them about a 10-minute orientation, because this is a pretty complex Lockheed software flight simulators.
You can't just jump in an airplane and start flying around in it. It's no different in a simulator. You got to learn the ropes.
And also, like the yoke, you can't jerk it back and forth. You're supposed to operate it real smoothly.
Sure.
And a bunch of other different rules that in the past we kind of let kids get on there, and next thing you know, they were not working. We had to contact Connecticut, and they had to come online. And
they're abusing a little bit. And
all you do is just push 1 or 2 little buttons and it reprograms the stuff. So it's kind of probably more complex than it needs to be, but that's because
kids come in thinking it's an Xbox or a PlayStation.
Yeah,
and you're like,
not.
It's a little bit different.
And we kind of regret in a way that maybe we should just got one that was very simple that kids could just come in and play and leave. But this one will fly 50 different aircraft, land at any major airport in the world. So instead of flying a little Cessna like it's set up now, you could pick a 637 MAX or whatever aircraft and land in Istanbul, Turkey at night in the rain. And then you get the 637 MAX cockpit layout, and you get the airfield at Istanbul, Turkey, and you get the darkness, or you get the rain flattering on the windshield. And
it really simulates.
So it's a pretty complex
this isn't
device.
A toy. It is a training tool.
Yeah, actually, it can be used for pilots.
People actually learn how to do their craft on this machine.
So we regret that, but we'll definitely maybe have someone there. But I think Bob Donnell will be there to demonstrate it a little bit.
Sure. Well, I imagine, as we get closer to Reno air races and things and start seeing more of those activities, I bet you're going to see more and more people taking an interest in those flight simulators.
By the way, those were thanks to the a grant from XL Energy, those 2 flight simulators.
XL always involved in our community all the time and behind the scenes most of the time. So,
Then we'll be passing out our little 2-page sheet, for example, everybody coming in, where you can go on to our website and click under education, and that's right there. You can actually, buy on your smartphone or on a computer, play 13 different YouTube careers. 38 professional pilot training videos are available, and that's a total of 12 hours. And those are actually really professional stuff that, you have 3 of those, I think, 15 minutes each. It talks about flying in weather, and then flying on the picture, 38 videos dealing with flying. And if you watched all those, you would be pretty smart chicken and pretty good leap ahead.
Absolutely.
If you're going to go out and try to become a pilot.
It's a great way to learn that this is what you're really into without investing the money and time and energy to
flight simulator. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
But this 38 videos is really getting into the
Sure.
The professional side of flying.
Well, and I as a consumer in life, I would like to travel on airplanes and have it not be a nightmare headache again. We need more people in the industry, please. This is why we're, we just had Labor Day weekend, and you got on the news and you hear all the delays here, and every time there's a holiday going on, you hear about this stuff. They are severely short-staffed in the aviation industry.
And that's why we don't have a flight going to Phoenix.
Exactly.
They don't have enough pilots. They don't have enough, all kinds of things.
So kids, study this stuff. This could be your future if you love flying. There are so many opportunities in that industry to thrive right now. And if you put in the time and effort to get your training and get your education under your belt, you can write your own ticket in that industry.
Yeah.
If you
so you could ideally you could go to our website, check out some of those 38 professional pilot training videos, and say, no, I'm not really cut out for this, or wow, this is really down my alley.
Absolutely. And there's so many aspects. Like you think, well, I'm not into it, but then you realize, it's like I don't want to fly. Okay. There's so many jobs in the industry, maybe you're hands-on.
Air traffic controller.
Air traffic control. Exactly.
Aircraft maintenance.
Those folks, aircraft maintenance. Put it this way, if you have your A&P license and you're certified to do all that, you are in demand. You're going to be making buku bucks because you're just...
And you got programs right here working with AirSail.
And you can go anywhere in the world with it. You could do it right here in your backyard, or if you want to take it, because I get it. You're young and then you fall in love and you go where the love takes you. And that career field will go wherever love travels.
That's true. But thanks to Juliana and some other folks, we on that website, besides, we listed about 50 different YouTube on careers that you can't touch and operate, but you can go look it up.
Gotcha.
And then we got about 33 that we selected that are interesting on aviation videos. Then you can go to our little thing, and it describes it. You have 3 pictures of us working with the kids. I think Bob Donnell and myself are in the background. You see the back of my head or something. But right above that, there's a block on STEM jobs.
Okay.
And you touch that on your smartphone, and it goes right to ONET Online, which is Occupational Network Online, on .org. And you get 331 STEM-type occupations listed alphabetically.
Okay.
And you just touch one of those, and you can get about 20, 25 pages of super detailed information about that particular career. And then if you go directly to that website, you can pick up a total about 1,040 occupations. You can put in, all kinds of welding, whatever you want, and it'll come up with what's the closest to that. And there's 1,040 listed or so approximately. And same thing, you get about 20, 25 pages of information on those careers.
Wow.
Then what we did was spend a few days with our 3 local phone books, and we've listed 480 STEM-oriented jobs in the Roswell region, but you'd have to go look them up on the phone book and contact those people. So if you're coming out, but there's lots of jobs you don't have to go to college and make money when they need people.
Kind of getting your foot in the door and getting it into there, and as you progress in the career, you advance. I'd invite people to check out the Walker Air Force Base Museum's website. A lot of the things that Robert's talking about here, you're going to find the links to all of that. It's www.wafbmuseum.org, and that's short for Walker Air Force Base Museum, wafbmuseum.org. There you can see everything that Robert's talking about, some of the STEM career field stuff. If you want to learn more about the history, if you'd like to donate, there is a donate button. The museum runs grassroots and everything else, so if you'd like to donate, there is a donate now button there. Volunteers, they're always looking for members to serve as docents, to serve on the board, to just help out. So if you want to learn more about being involved with the museum, the website will have a lot of information for you there too.
Oh, by the way, we had a kind of a funny thing happen over the last few days. We had this lady call, and she makes a book.
Okay.
And in this book, her pet chicken sits around on stuff.
Okay.
So she showed up, and she had this, I thought it was a real fluffy little dog in her arms. And it's this really kind of old chicken.
Okay.
So she puts this chicken over by the flight simulators, and supposedly she took a picture, and this is going to be, Charlie's
adventures.
Getting ready to work with the simulator, and then she puts it over by another display of some of the history. Charlie's checking out this history, da-da-da. But it's kind of interesting. They have a sign, no animals in the museum. But she came with this little chicken, and the guard kind of goes, fine, just whatever.
Right. He's like, you're just here to... Well, and I imagine she's probably got a TikTok channel or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's got a following.
Pretty well.
And so it's good publicity.
She was a lot of fun, yeah.
Maybe it'll turn on some folks that normally wouldn't know about the museum.
Then she can just turn it loose and it just sit right there, and she'd get back and then take a picture of it. I told her after that, and I was working with her chicken
from
a while.
around here? Or,
No.
Okay, she's just passing through town.
But after playing with that chicken and doing stuff, I said, well, I guess I can't eat any chicken sandwiches for the next couple of months now. I feel guilty.
I would have been like, nope, I'm hungry. Let's go. I can eat an egg sandwich or something.
Yeah. Just a reminder, some of our current board members right now, Doug Weiser, I think he was on last month.
Yeah, he was on last month.
He's our president. And so it's myself, and then Doug Weiser, Allie Bishop, and Katie Yates, Sandy Correa, Bob Donnell, Juliana Halverson, Judy Armstrong passed away, bless her heart.
She was a board member emeritus.
Yeah, but she was actually the helped start the whole museum in the first place.
She's a legacy member of the Walker.
Jerry Cloffers, Friar Jarek Nowaki, Stephen Miller, he's a volunteer on Wednesdays, and then I mentioned Doug. Then Peggy Bolin, and so anyway, and Josh Bootson is a new member of our board, but
awesome.
Maybe he's still advisory, but we're going to try to get him in to be the main thing. But he kind of deals exactly with what we're dealing with careers for kids in Mexico.
So he's a good asset to the group
absolutely.
there. He's
very, very good
probably
asset.
opening up to a few resources maybe you guys weren't even aware of.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Very cool. And they're always looking for more volunteers to be a part of it, whether it's serving on the board or serving as a docent, or if you love, maybe you're a vet that love this stuff, or maybe you just want to get involved, and it's a great way. Or maybe you're the STEM side. You're like, I love science, I love working with kids. Maybe that's your niche. But they're always looking for more. And let's face it, the museum is open generally around the flying schedule out at the airport, and more volunteers means more hours and things. So, if you're like, man, I love this museum, but I wish it was open more. Well, volunteer. That's how it gets open more. More volunteers mean more hours that we can allow this for the public to come in and check it out.
Yeah, and also, for example, with our contacts, we get, when we had the Western Pilot Services firefighting aircraft were stationed here for a while, they said, yeah, come on out. And so we coordinated, and we got a few people to show up, and they went out and put the kids in that cockpit, and
that's something else that the museum's kind of is the Sherpa for.
KC-135s coming in from the 509.
Occasionally military comes into town to do some training, or they're passing through or something, and a lot of times they'll hook up with the Walker folks, and next thing you know, we got a group of kids from one of the schools coming out and hanging out with the Navy guys that are in town for a couple hours to work. That's what the museum does too, is put those connections together too. So really, the museum is very much involved in the community and partnering with our schools and our education to try to offer these opportunities for students in Roswell.
Yeah, I'm kind of a book person, and I mentioned in the past some books that I recommended that were pretty good. But just recently, Bob Donnell gave me this Killing Patton, that whole series by Bill O'Reilly. And
the Pat one's interesting because I do enjoy Patton history.
And so you find out initially, how he died and stuff. But each little chapter gives you the exact date, and it kind of marches through the dates. And sometimes it's combat things that are going on involving Patton directly, or one little chapter may be on President Roosevelt and why he picked Trump, and why he was, not Trump, why Truman.
Truman, yes.
Yeah. I got the Trump on.
That would be that time.
Yeah. But, he knew he was getting ready to die because he had heart issues. He had all kinds of, steel things on his legs and able to sit up because he got polio late in life.
Yeah.
But,
FDR.
And it talks all some interesting. I just get through reading that chapter on Truman. I thought, wow, I didn't know that. I think I read a book on Truman. But then there would be another chapter on Stalin's substitute for Christmas in, Moscow, and kind of why he did it this way and that way. He was atheist, all that stuff.
Sure. Wow.
But it's just little sections of stuff that are going on in history, but it gives you some of the background or things behind the scenes that you didn't know before. Like, wow, I didn't know that.
Sure.
I'm 81 years old, been reading books all my life, and I'm thinking, why didn't I know that?
If I remember right, they kind of give you a good feel of the temperature of the time, if that makes sense. Where you read a book and you read the dates and the history in this, but these books give you a good feeling of the feeling, the emotion of the time, you know what I mean? Some of the, which kind of explains the reason why someone did this or some way did that. And like, you look at history and read, well, so-and-so did this. And it's like, well, that's head scratcher. Why would they do it this way? And this book kind of, all right, well, now you know the emotional state, what was, and now that some of that information starts to make sense. It's like, okay, they're coming, if they're thinking from this place, that's why they went this way.
Some of the other ones, like Countdown 1945 by Chris Wallace, was the #1 bestseller. That kind of counts down to the Hiroshima and all the things that were going on in the background. And Enola Gay, kind of a similar one. This is written in 1977. Another book I came across accident was the World War II-100, and it ranks the 100th most influential figures in the Second World War. And you'll come across a lot of people that did key things in World War II that you never heard of before. They were like spies or women that did this or that and were key to certain events happening. So that was an interesting book. It was, I think, written in copyright was 2002.
Okay.
But anyway, just stuff like that. Now I've kind of found the one that a lot of people have been reading for years is the who killed, like Lincoln.
Yeah, the killing Lincoln.
Kill Lincoln, kill Patton.
A
bunch of other.
Kennedy, I think there's one in there.
So I just went on Amazon last night and ordered 3 different ones.
So your reading list is
so I just kind of bumped up. So I thought, well, if that's similar to this is kind of interesting, and you can read, one chapter a night before you go to sleep if you can last through maybe 6 or 8 pages.
Sure. Depends how tired you are.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes I get about 3 paragraphs.
Right.
That's it.
It's not happening tonight.
No.
Yeah. But absolutely. I love. I'm a fan of all that stuff. So it's.
By the way, thank you for our supporters in the past.
Yes.
Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development, Glenn Furniture's given us a bunch of furniture out there. 6 Bomb Wing Reunion Group gave us some money. David Petroleum, General Murray gave us some stuff when he left, money. And there's different things from Roswell Toyota, XL Energy, Xi Kappa Chapter, Beta Sigma Phi, and some other doctors around town, Dr. Kathy and Paul Engstrom and Lloyd Hughes. Airsail was a big supporter, too, in the past.
Good deal. Well, we appreciate all those folks. And just to recap here, don't forget, Saturday, September 14th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. is Museum Day here in Roswell. 7 museums, including the Walker Aviation Museum, will be participating. You're going to need to get a passport for those watching on the video that looks just like this. You got one in the mail. If you have lost that or round filed it, you can get a copy of this passport at any of the 7 museums. Please note the UFO Museum, the International UFO Museum, you can get these before, but the day of you will not be able to get there because that's the one museum that charges here. And so if you have this passport, they will let you in for free, but they will not be letting in non-locals and things. So they got to make their nut that day and make money. They're a business, but everyone else, you can get them probably at that day and everything else if you don't get them. But get the passport filled out. On the back, you'll see all that, and then get your entry turned in, and you can win some great prizes, not only from each of the museums, but the overall grand prize too here. So definitely participate that and check out these museums. And I'm telling you, plan time to check it, because you're going to go into Walker Aviation. You're going to be like, wow, there's more here. Then you're going to walk into the McBride Museum, and like if you've never seen a Medal of Honor up close in person, they got one at the McBride Museum. If you never walked, or if you're a big Roger Staubach fan or something, they got all kinds of cool stuff at that McBride Museum. Make sure you visit all of these. The Historical Society, I remember that. Go tour the J.P. White home and see what turn of the century, wealthy life. Because let's face it, the Whites were We're an affluent family, and that house was state of the art at the time it was the turn of the century. Not so much now, but check it out. And same thing with Anderson Museum and the miniatures, and make sure you check out all of these museums.
They're going to have, by the way, don't eat breakfast.
That's right.
Because we're going to have like 50 cookies.
All right.
Or,
so you could grub
60 cookies.
Right.
But each museum's going to have cookies and drinks and stuff.
All right. So you could hit each one.
We'll probably just have little bottles of water, but have some cookies.
Sure. So you can do a snack crawl on top of your museum crawl.
Get a sugar high on
That's right.
when you run around.
Well, that's right. So you'll have fuel for the later in the day stuff. But again, mark that on your calendar. Saturday, September 14th is Museum Day, our second here in Roswell. Check out the Walker Air Force Base Museum for more information about everything we talked about here today. www.wafbmuseum.org. If you're interested in volunteering or getting more involved, or if you have a youth group or organization and would like to arrange a specialized tour of the museum, or if you want to set up for youth to sit down and work with these simulators, we can talk to museum
absolutely.
folks.
Talk to your teachers, your scout group, church group, whatever. We're more than happy
to set those
schedule
up.
And come on out. We can.
Matter of fact, that's how they like doing it. They like to get your youth groups and work together and say, all right, we're going to pick a date and a time. We're all going to get together. And
sometimes you can also coordinate. And if you bring out, we can handle 8, which is really a low number. But if you had, say, 16, we can coordinate. And for half the time, a group could go over and tour AirSim.
Yeah, it's like a rail
or
round
could go over to
thing.
the university and do stuff. And then they come back, eat lunch, then flip-flop. And
you make a whole day of it. But
stuff like that.
And it's a lot of fun, and it's so much education, so much great stuff. So wafbmuseum.org
Correct.
is a website.
Yes.
Robert, is there anything we just skipped over?
I don't know. I've got 12 pages of stuff here I could talk about on the museum, but I don't think we have time right now.
Well, we'll have to catch it next time.
Yeah, that's right.
Here. But Robert, always appreciate it. And if we'll see you or Doug or both next month here, and come on out September 14th and come celebrate your amazing museums here in town. And don't forget, allot some time for that Walker Aviation Museum. You're going to find some cool nuggets and some cool things to see and look at, and things you may not even realize that were right here in your own backyard.
Like you said, we could use one more person if could volunteer to come out and open up the museum.
Yeah.
Then we'd all be just tied up with maybe one day a week.
Absolutely.
Because Bob Donnell and I are sharing 3 days, and then Allie Bishop comes out on Thursdays, and Steve Miller comes out on Wednesdays. So.
Okay.
But I tell you what, you meet a lot of neat people.
Oh, yeah, if you're a people person.
I mean, I'm out there and you'll meet somebody and they leave and I think, well, that was worth the drive out here, just meeting and talking to those
just
folks.
Chit-chat, yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
That happens all the time where people come in, especially in the summer months when people are on vacations and stuff. They'll come in and they, their family or they were here as youth.
Yeah, they were here.
Yeah.
The husband and wife, they were both working in base supply for about 10 years.
That's cool. Did they meet here or did they?
Yeah, I guess they met here.
Oh, that's cool.
But anyway, they were just coming back and checking out everything. So.
Yeah, see, I love that. And you get those stories. And then you start learning the real history of the town.
Yeah, or they come in and my dad was working on B-36s. So I'll show him the 7-minute thing of Strategic Air Command. Jimmy Stewart, I think, gets up and he shows a takeoff and a landing in a B-36. And
that's cool.
It's really close up and they go, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. That's the museum. So please.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait till the 14th, by the way. You can come out this week if you want.
That's true.
But
I'll be out there Thursday and Friday.
That's right.
But we're only out there for about 2.5 hours prior to the midday launch.
Yeah.
Because after that, usually nobody. That's on the website. So
you get there like right before lunch. That's usually a sweet spot there, right around that time. So.
Perfect.
Well, thank you, sir, as always.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time, if not sooner here.
Okay, thanks.
All right, 7:56. Let's pause for news and maybe a sports report before we get you into more news. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The state of New Mexico has awarded $40 million in grants to help deploy broadband infrastructure, and a local utility is included. The grants are being released through the state's Connect New Mexico Fund and are designed to expand high-speed internet access to underserved communities. Among the awards, more than $4.8 million to Penasco Valley Telephone Cooperative. Nearly 400 miles of fiber will be built to complete the projects. And you may have felt the ground shake in the last few days. Back-to-back earthquakes were reported in West Texas and southeast New Mexico since Friday. Many people in southeast New Mexico said they felt the shakers. The first quake was magnitude 2.7 southeast of the community of Coyanosa, Texas. No significant damage was reported. Then early Saturday, a 3.2 magnitude shaker was centered south of White City, New Mexico. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting some sunshine with a few clouds today. Scattered showers around the area, but drier air is moving in. Fairly comfortable daytime highs, though. Our afternoon highs today in the mid to upper 70s. Overnight will be clear, lows near 60, and then plenty of sunshine coming up for Wednesday. And still pretty nice on those temperatures, low to mid 80s. Sunny, and we're in the upper 80s on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Good night for the football teams in the county on Friday night. Let's lead off with Roswell officially getting their first victory of the season, 41-14 over Alamogordo. Remember, Roswell's season opener against Los Lunas was canceled at the end of the first quarter because of weather. Roswell led this one 13-0 at half, then scored 28 points in the third quarter to pull away. NMMI wins its season opener at home against Loving, 35-0. Dexter's now 2-0 with a 22-13 victory on the road at West Las Vegas. Defense impressive for the Demons. Diego Munoz has 8 tackles, 6 of them are solo. Hagerman, meanwhile, goes to 2-0 in 8-man football, beating Alamo Navajo on the road 40-22. And Gateway Christian is 2-0 after a thumping Escalante 54-0. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
And we're closing at 8 o'clock. Town Hall News is coming up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. We're going to replay an interview with the folks from Roswell Seed in the 8 o'clock hour. And then Bitter Lake, Steve Alvarez in the 9 o'clock hour talking about Dragonfly Festival coming up this weekend. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Former President Trump getting back on the campaign trail today with an event in Atlanta. Mr. Trump took Labor Day off. Meanwhile, the Harris campaign is hitting the road.
The vice president's team calls it the Reproductive Freedom Bus Tour, and it demonstrates how important the Harris campaign views the abortion issue. It was a dominant theme at the Democratic National Convention, and the bus tour will be making more than 50 stops across the nation. The first event takes place near Donald Trump's Florida home in Palm Beach. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The latest Russian missile attack on Ukraine has killed at least 41 people, 180 others wounded, according to Ukrainian President Zelensky. In the aftermath of Venezuela's disputed presidential election, a judge issuing an arrest warrant for former opposition presidential candidate Edmundo Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez was the candidate who ran against Nicolas Maduro in the country's recent presidential election. Since the vote, his opposition alliance has published voting data which it says shows he won the election by a huge margin. However, the National Electoral Council declared President Maduro the winner, prompting major protests across Venezuela. Now, the possibility that Mr. Gonzalez may also be detained on charges of inciting public disorder and conspiracy has suddenly become far more likely.
The BBC's Will Grant. 4 people shot to death on a commuter train outside Chicago. It happened at the Forest Park station. It's an above-ground stop on the Chicago Transit Authority Blue Line route. The suspect did get away, but was later arrested on a train on a different route, according to police. Russian President Putin visiting Mongolia, but there is no sign the host country will arrest him on an international warrant stemming from the ongoing war in Ukraine. Watching Wall Street, the Dow down 326 points, NASDAQ off 260. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Israel losing some support from one of its allies.
UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's government said it's suspending exports of some weapons to Israel. These suspensions were announced by Foreign Secretary David Lammy.
For certain UK arms exports to Israel, there does exist a clear risk that they might be used to commit or facilitate a serious violation of international humanitarian law.
Lammy, who has visited Israel twice in the past 2 months as part of Western efforts to push for a ceasefire, said that he is a friend of Israel, but called the violence in Gaza horrifying. I'm Norman Hall.
Outgoing Japanese Prime Minister Kishida is going to South Korea, the mission aimed at improving the two countries' relations. The South Korean president's office says the two leaders will discuss further developing two-way ties, as well as strengthening their cooperation in regional and in global issues. News and analysis at townhall.com. A long-delayed trial begins this week for a man who killed 10 people in a supermarket in Colorado.
No one disputes that Ahmad Al-Aliwi Alisa opened fire at a King Soopers supermarket in Boulder, Colorado in 2021. He's pleading not guilty by reason of insanity to 10 counts of first-degree murder, 15 counts of attempted murder, and other offenses. Survivor Emily Giffen recalled that fateful day.
He went hunting in a barrel full of fish. Nobody was prepared.
Prosecutors will argue Alisa had been planning the shooting, researching things like what kinds of bullets are the most deadly and information about the Christchurch attacks in New Zealand. The defense plans to focus on his mental state. I'm Jennifer King.
One person is dead, 2 others missing after a boat they were on hit a jetty in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. The missing apparently were not wearing life jackets. There were 8 or 9 people on board the vessel, that according to local media accounts. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy not Monday, everybody.
Yep.
Feels like Monday, acts like Monday, smells like Monday.
Smells
but
a lot like Monday.
It's Tuesday.
Hits like a Monday.
Which, right now, you're kind of like, but trust me, later in the day, you're like, it's midweek tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're thinking about the weekend tomorrow. So, yeah.
Or, if you want to do yourself a serious favor, think of tomorrow as your Tuesday, then think of Thursday as your Thursday. That makes the week feel so much shorter.
And just no Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
There's actually a poll that was put out on, what's that, BuzzFeed or one of those, where people were given the option, if you could go to a 4-day work week, which extra day would you want off? Most people would say Monday or Friday.
All right.
Majority of people actually said Friday, with Monday being the second.
Yeah.
I think I would opt for the third place, which is having Wednesday off.
The middle of the week?
Yeah, I mean, for a couple of reasons. You get that midweek break.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to kill your momentum for the first 2 days, and you got the second 2 days of momentum. Plus, Wednesday's my wrestling night. It gives me so much more time to prepare for the 2 hours I'm going to sit on my couch from 6 to 8.
Well, then using that logic,
Uh-huh.
wouldn't you want Thursday off? So
I could
if
sleep
you
in
have
with
a wrestling, overdo it wrestling
if I
night?
overdo it, I've overdone it on my sweaty men. Yeah, but I personally prefer having the back half of the week
Then you
to
work
kind of
one
get stuff
day
done.
and then you're off for 2 more.
Mhm.
That's not a bad gig either. Although I lean in the want the Monday or Friday off.
Mhm.
I want the 3 days in a row. I
Oh, yeah.
like that because that way you work. I've been Rick Springfieldized or Loverboyized, and I'm work for the weekend.
Uh-huh. I've been lover-bized.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that makes sense. I think that's my second choice would be probably just take Monday off because, then you only use the Mondays. Of course,
Yeah.
then Tuesday would develop that reputation.
Right.
But most people, there's only 1% of people said Tuesday, and when asked why, they said tacos. Makes sense. More time in the day to consume tacos.
But that's only a thing around here, right?
Well, Taco Tuesday is more of like a white people thing, so it's more
Yeah.
like a Midwestern thing.
Okay.
Around here, every day is Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
When you got good tacos like we do,
I
every
just
day.
can't imagine going to Bar Harbor, Maine, and there's Taco Tuesday there. I just feel like they're like, no, we eat lobster here.
So it's funny. One of my kids' favorite songs is a song called "It's Raining Tacos."
Ah.
If you're a parent of a young child, you've probably heard this song. You probably memorized this song.
Is it to the tune of "It's Raining Men"?
No, it's not. Thank God. Thank God. Although almost. No, but there's like a line in the song where it says lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. I'm like, that is the whitest white boy taco I've ever heard of in my entire life. Where's the barbacoa? Where's the pico de gallo? Where's the salsas? Come on now.
Yeah, where's tongue?
Shells even. Not even like tortillas. It's lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. And I know they were trying to find something to fit the rhyme scheme, but still though.
That's a good point. If they call it a taco shell, that's a huge red flag.
Old El Paso did more damage to the taco industry than they did good.
Yeah. If you use the word shell.
And don't even get me started. I used to get into fights with one of my friends because he would do this just to annoy me.
Yeah.
There's an old El Paso commercial where they're making tacos.
Uh-huh.
And in the middle of the commercial, the kid takes a bite out of the top of the taco. Right?
That's
He's
like eating a
it like
banana.
a sandwich.
That's like eating a banana. Who does that?
Yep. And it used to tick me off so bad.
Yeah,
so then just to spite me, my friend would take a bite out of the middle of his tacos.
Yeah. Well, I would do that too.
Like, you're a son of a gun.
But that person is a serial killer. You eat tacos like that.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that in that commercial, I'm like, what's wrong with you? I was born in Oklahoma, white boy central, and I know you got to turn your head to eat a taco.
Well, I mean, Shaq did a whole taco neck or whatever. Wasn't that a Taco Bell campaign with Shaq's taco neck? And he tilted his head to eat the taco.
Oh, Shaq, I'm trying to turn my head. Someone turn my tacos to get into my face. I have to look this because I know. I mean, it's like a fever dream thinking about it now.
That does seem that seems like if AI made a taco, that pizza one. With
Uh-huh. Oh, those are borderline unwatchable.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the nightmare fuel.
I have to find it and I'll post it over on the page because it's one of the most infuriating things you're ever going to see in your entire life. And it really got to me.
Now I'm almost like, part of me is, yes, that's savage. But part of me now wants to go to a place like Los Cerritos on Taco Night and
just to see how many stares and
to
open
see
mouth.
what kind of reaction I would get with a bunch of people.
You'd get the same reaction of gasps, dropped forks, and scraped chairs that you would get if you dropped a slur in Mexico City. Clink, clink, clink. This is delightful.
Just holding it like a sandwich.
Like, it doesn't even make sense from a proportion standpoint because if you take a bite out of the top of the taco, you're just getting toppings.
Right.
The meat and the cheese are if you do it right, at the bottom of the taco.
Right.
And the top for some with the cheese, too. But you put a layer of cheese. See, now I'm getting into white boy taco logic. You put a layer of cheese over your beef so that the cheese melts and makes a nice little barrier for your crunchy, vegetables on top.
This is why, and I'm going to start a thing. I'm Team Burrito over Team Taco. Because Team Burrito, it all melds together.
Now,
every bite, you get the same.
Now, I would argue, around these parts, around here, if you purchase a taco, it's gonna come to you like a burrito.
It is. You're
like
correct.
a classic street taco.
But like your
right
garden
kind of
variety hard shell Taco Bell taco, which is a step up from or step sideways to basically old El Paso. Although I fall victim every couple of months for those stupid El Paso flat shells.
The ones on the bottom?
Because I see the commercial. I want to just lay my taco down flat like that, and I buy them, and then like every time I get them, and then I use them, like there's a reason why. As soon as you put meat in these things, the whole bottom just falls apart.
Right. It just shatters or disintegrates.
But
one
in
of the
the
two.
commercial, I get duped.
Right.
Oh, they put it right back down. It worked. Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm. You'd have thought you introduced electricity to my family the second we were introduced to taco holders. We're like, they just stand up? Because up until that point, the way our plates were when we had taco night at my house, we'd set the tacos up next to the rice so that they would have a barrier to sit up against. When we discovered taco holders, it was a game changer.
That's right. You can get them. I'm looking for microwavable ones. Taco holders.
Just in case you want to go
reheat later. That happens.
Stupid white.
Yeah. I probably need to get an interview going, so I better shut my hole. We're going to play our interview we had with John and Crystal Noble from Roswell Seed. They joined us, I believe it was last Monday, and chit-chatted with us. Nice. So we'll get an update from them. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, Wall Street business updates, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, your calmer, gentler, more pleasant weather forecast. It's got a little rain, a little cool. It's not bad. A little something.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting some sunshine with a few clouds today. Scattered showers around the area, but drier air is moving in. Fairly comfortable daytime highs, though. Our afternoon highs today in the mid to upper 70s. Overnight will be clear, lows near 60, and then plenty of sunshine coming up for Wednesday. And still pretty nice on those temperatures, low to mid 80s. Sunny, and we're in the upper 80s on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 65 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 73%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 3 miles per hour. 78 under mostly sunny skies for a high today. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight. Expect an overnight low of 60. Southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Sunny and 84 for a high tomorrow. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night, overnight low of 64 degrees, south winds 5 to 10. Thursday, sunny, 86 for a high, winds out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday night, they're tacking on a 20% chance of showers, partly cloudy, 63 for an overnight low. Friday, sunny and 87. Saturday, sunny and 86, and sunny and 88 for your Sunday. All right, it is 8:15. We're going to take about a minute and a half break. Then we're going to play our interview with John and Crystal Noble from Roswell Seed. That's up next. Don't go away.
So the weeds are taking over your property? Ask yourself, what would Jim Gill do?
This is Ben from Roswell Seed. If Jim was here, the first thing he'd do is figure out what kind of weeds you're dealing with. He'd recommend the best thing to get rid of them and show you how to. Then he'd probably tell you a long story about the biggest weed he ever saw.
Big or small, when problems come along, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
The need to grow past our basic capabilities and experience the impossible will forever keep aviation technology evolving. Within the Aviation Maintenance Technology program at ENMU Roswell, students thrive knowing that the faculty and community are supporting their success. ENMU Roswell is dedicated to empowering students through hands-on skills training in a nurturing environment. To learn more, contact us today.
Artesia General Hospital has welcomed cardiologist Luther Weathers to the team. Dr. Weathers is board certified with a subspecialty in cardiovascular diseases. He treats patients with genetic heart defects, heart rhythm disorders, heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic high blood pressure, and other cardiovascular diseases. Call 575-736-8270 to schedule your visit with Dr. Weathers in Artesia or visit artesiageneral.com/cardio appointment. Se habla español.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, Steve Alvarez back with us. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Mike. How's it going?
How's life at the refuge this morning?
It's a little hectic right now, as always.
It is arguably probably the busiest time of year out at Bitter Lake right now, because we are basically a week away from this year's Dragonfly Festival.
Next Saturday, September 7th.
Yeah, and technically next Friday things will kick off.
That's correct.
Because the one-day party always spills into 3 days. That's kind of how it goes into.
Exactly.
But we will kind of unofficially or officially kick off Friday night with they'll start with a Dragonfly presentation.
Karen Gaines, she did a lot of research at the refuge, and when we first found out we had that many dragonflies, they started.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Roswell Seed, John and Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How's it going?
Good. How about yourselves?
Oh, just cantankerous and stuff like that.
Just another day. Starting to cool off a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, it's nice. Kind of have rain chances and highs that are in the low 90s or
Yeah.
mid 90s.
So weird. Like this morning, get up and I was like, wow, like I'm actually chilly this morning.
It's not roasting. Yeah.
I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice change. You're like, all right. So that being said, I imagine you guys have probably been busy. Because when weather's weird, people come to see you more because they got to do things to get things right.
Oh boy, is it ever? It is. We're getting the, hey, what do I do? Hey, this bug. Hey, this, and it's like, so we're trying to get everything that we can, trying to help everybody out. I have a new fertilizer in. I have tested it on a couple of my lawn guys. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, they were willing to help out. One of the gentlemen's Irving Rangel with Rangel Lawn Services.
Well, that's 100+ years of Roswell Seed. It's a lot of trial and error, and and that's where that experience comes from. But as these new products come out, like you said, you got your company's telling you one thing, and you're like, no, I'm putting it through its paces.
Exactly.
So you do. You have people that are loyal customers for a long time, and when you get new stuff, they like to be the guinea pigs and see, this fertilizer worked great, or no, it's garbage, hot garbage.
Well, Irving's kind of funny because he's a really good guy. He's got a really good lawn service. Yeah. But I just kind of, and he's like, I'll try it out on my lawn. I'm like, okay. So he tried it. So this new lawn fertilizer, being that the city bumped the water bill something like 58% or something like that.
Yeah, we saw a huge jump when they kind of realigned pricing here.
Yeah. So this fertilizer actually cuts down your watering.
Okay.
Irvin was using it.
Does it retain moisture? Is that how it works?
Yes, it does. Okay. It's got a moisture retainer in there. He went from watering twice a day to watering once every 3 days once. So he's not watering in the morning at night. He's watering every 3 days one time.
Interesting. Is this kind of got this? I remember there's those potting soils and stuff that they mix some of that stuff in there to keep the water
fiber
in the dirt longer.
Right.
So is it using that kind of technology?
It's an aquifer.
It's I really haven't got to break open one of the bags and dig through it.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing what it is going to be because it says that it's biodegradable, whatever it is.
Okay.
So I don't know. Sometimes the we used to get this stuff that was basically diapers, the baby diapers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was basically the same stuff. it'd hold water, and then it would, it would leach the water out,
like
stuff like that.
biodegradable puppy pad, or
more or
something.
less. Yeah, that's it. That's ground up inside of this.
Okay.
But he's having really good success. The other one that I gave it to was to David Garcia. He owns DGM Services, and he was trying it out on
client's yard.
No, it was his yard.
Oh.
But he was trying it out on his Bermuda grass.
Okay, so trying on different grass types
different
to
grass
see what
types
kind of
to see what
results you
happens.
get.
Yeah. And he was in the other day, and I asked him. He's like, I hadn't even looked at my lawn, so he's going to go look at it.
Brown or green?
Yeah, it's like, yeah. But so that's something that we're trying to help out the people of Roswell with,
Sure.
and we track this stuff down. And we're trying it, and it seems to be working.
Okay.
I have a couple of customers that bought it, came in. They were like, hey, this stuff's awesome. It's like, great. So we're trying to help out kind of everybody. A couple of my yard guys came in and were like, yeah, two of my customers just rocked their whole front yard. Said, heck with it, and just rocked it all. And it's like, whoa. And he's all like, yeah, now I'm down 2 customers. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, we're trying to help out both ends, keep the the vicious economy of life working in Roswell, So
well,
that's
let's face it. When these kind of things happen, these are the things people neglect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. When times are tough, you're cutting back on watering. You're cutting back on lawn care, because at the end of the day, feeding your kids, making sure everyone's got medicine, that takes priority.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, you get it. But at the same time, when you do let things go to disrepair, it's that much harder to get them back to. So even if you can't water as much as you wanted to, or fertilize as much as you wanted to, something's better than nothing.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of people were coming to us and they were asking us, well, can I put a different grass in? Can I do that? Was the whole premonition of, well, I found this fertilizer. If the fertilizer works, you're not having to tear your yard out.
Sure.
It's just the same grass. It's just different fertilizer.
Sure.
And so far, it seems to be working out quite well. So we're happy on that aspect.
Excellent.
Second aspect, I found some seed. If you know anybody that was devastated up in the Ruidoso area, I have one seed in. It's going to be a little bit too late to plant, but I'm bringing in another seed. It's going to be a deep rooting seed to keep the land and ground from moving, and it's going to be very fast acting.
Burn scars and things like that.
Yeah. Because up there right now, if you spit, you got a mudslide coming. Yeah.
No absorption.
So I talked to a couple of our seed vendors, got a hold of one. He, poor guy, he had to talk to the ergometrist or whatever those people are called. I've talked to one once before, and he had to dumb himself down like 10 levels to talk to me and telling them, our region, what we're looking at. This guy wanted, what soil type is it, what trees were burned, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, okay, we're not going that in depth.
Right.
Region, rainfall, give me seed. We cut it to that. So I will be bringing in some of that here very, very soon.
Excellent.
To be able to just kind of throw out and let it do its thing.
I don't have a lot of experience with that burn scar stuff. Like, to get vegetation to grow on that, is it much like, how you rototill your yard up?
Mm-hmm.
Is it do you have to do that kind of thing, or does that make it worse?
No, it really won't make it worse. But right now it's prime because all the nitrogen is sitting up because of the fire. The fire usually drains and pulls all of your nutrients to the top.
Okay.
So when you spread seed now, it's going to take a lot faster than waiting.
Because all the nutrients are sitting right there.
They're sitting right there.
Okay.
And instead of them being washed away somewhere, they can get absorbed by whatever you're putting down.
So the idea is try to replant quick.
Right.
While the nutrients are still before the rains and everything.
Right. Everything.
Wash it down.
A lot of those poor people, a lot of it might be kind of washed away, but the soil is still fertile enough that it's going to take regardless. That was the old additive everybody down here in the valley would. If something caught on fire, throw seed down right immediately after. When the smoldering stopped, throw seed down. And somebody in the state engineer's office said that wasn't a good idea. Well, they spent a lot of money. But, it didn't grow until finally somebody, kind of set them straight.
Gotcha.
But that's one of the other things that we're trying to do to help out up north.
Okay.
West.
Or west, sorry. Yeah, west.
I know what you meant.
Yeah. That way.
North
that
isn't
way.
up.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Wait, now I'm starting to do directions like she gives me. God, we're driving. Which way you need to go up? What? I need to go up. So
I meant straight.
Yeah. it was straight, but we had a blonde moment. It's all right,
Well, maybe you thought you were a Night Rider and you got turbo boost.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest
Wait a
time.
minute. So one of the bridges we went over, you go up and then you go down.
There's a technicality there.
Yeah.
The GPS that go up.
You need a 69 Charger painted orange to
do that one. Yeah, basically. Yeah. After a while, it's just like, I've learned the directionisms. There is a directionism for women. It's just,
I always like, you want to turn here. I'm like, where?
Where? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah. You got 0.3 of a mile. You need to turn, and I'm driving going, maybe right there with a big sign that says turn.
Right.
Oh, there is a sign there. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm paying attention to the GPS, not the road.
That's yeah. I got it covered. So we're trying to help
I know
out.
these arguments. I've had the same one.
Oh yeah. Oh, we have.
I think every married couple on the planet that's traveled anywhere has had these same arguments at some point or another.
The best one I seen was gentleman said, my wife telling me to stop at a stop sign, and his wife's still like, "You gonna stop?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, you're gonna stop." And she's like, "You need to stop!" And she screams, and he slams on the brakes, and he looks, and like the stop sign is still like quarter of a mile away, and he's looking at her. Exactly, Don't give me that look.
Bumper humper.
Every man that's sitting there listening right now is like, yeah, I know.
You're a bumper humper.
You call me whatever.
I get the.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hers is the foot.
I want to put my head through the window when I hear that. And I'm like, stop it. You're driving me nuts doing that.
Hers is the foot, or
I
she
wasn't
grabs.
freaked out till you did that.
Yeah. They make it worse. You're driving along and you're just like, what? And immediately you look
I just
at the
pee
sound.
a little every time you do that.
And then she's all like, well, why didn't you? Well, I was looking at what the distress was to the side of me. Right. And I'm not paying
because you're looking at the window this way and not the window in front of you.
I saw what the guy was doing in front of me.
No,
I looked 4 or 5 cars ahead.
No, you don't.
It wasn't that hard. Yeah. At one point, I actually pulled over and I told her, "You put your foot down one more time." I said, "You're gonna walk." I said, "I am tired of this." She got all mad. I was all like, oh my gosh.
Oh, I've been those days.
Yeah,
we've all had them. I think one day we've had them. So.
And the bad part is, she's sitting there looking at it. Not like that I'm smart enough to be able to read it, but that's her job. Okay, I got you. Okay, you sit right there and eat your cereal. It's fine. But or 0.3 of a mile. That's her favorite. That you got 0.3 of a mile. Oh, do you know what 0.3 of a mile is? Well, it's okay. I said it's coming up right. No. You still got 0.2 of a mile. It's right there.
Right.
It's like
0.8 of it's behind us.
Yeah.
That's not seeds.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're just digging. He likes digging holes.
Oh yeah,
that's why reason Roswell seeds.
Yeah, that's right. It started this morning, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had no.
But pace yourself. You got a whole week of this. So
I like to jump out early. Yeah, jump out, cause as much trouble as I can, then feel out what's going to be there.
This
and then
is why he does a lot of
it.
yard work, because that's where he goes when he gets thrown out the house for saying something.
Yeah. Well, last night she thought she was going to be funny and put her cold feet on me, and I was all like, oh, okay, ha ha, laugh, laugh, chuckle, chuckle. Well, at 5:30 this morning, she didn't appreciate my cold body because I don't sleep with the covers on. I don't like it. And yeah, I pulled the covers and rolled up next to her, man, and all I heard was whoa.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, that's not the cold. I'm sorry. I meant to touch you with my cold foot. I totally missed it. There's a lot of meat to chill, so yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You do go back to bed tonight with her, so I'm kind of feeling, there will be retribution.
Probably. Gonna get knocked out with something and then get knocked out with something.
See, that's the problem. Just when you think you got one, it's like, oh man, we got to do this again tonight.
Yeah. It's okay.
Oh well. But point is, we got way a little off topic.
Oh yeah.
But
always.
But if you are looking, like if you're up there in Redos area and you got property and you got some seed and stuff that maybe could help you out a little bit as far as replanting some of these burn areas and getting some of this back to looking the way it's supposed to be.
Because we had some customers that were coming in. I mean, they were showing us just the pictures, and I mean, oh my gosh, it's unreal.
Yeah. I've seen some of the, especially Alto area. That place,
Alto. There's like nothing left. Like there's not even anything that even resembles.
Some of those iconic buildings that you just know from Alto are gone.
Gone. Yeah. But I mean, when I was one of the guys was showing us pictures of Alto, and I was looking, I'm like, there's not even a remnants that there used to be a town there. I mean, generally you have like maybe a couple of bricks or a pipe or like nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, it just burnt to the ground.
Yeah, I've had a couple, like my in-laws who they live in Albuquerque now, but they lived Alto Rio, so whole time, and they were back doing some stuff a week or so ago, and they were just, it was depressing. They were showing footage, and it was just. Ritos is not the same. If you've not been up there since the fires, it's not the same.
We passed the outskirts going through, but we didn't go like down.
Yeah, that's the same here. I went to Cloudcroft a couple weeks ago, but we were like, no, we're not going to go down.
Yeah, that's what I was telling her. I was like, these guys they're humping right now. Yeah. I mean, they're trying to get stuff cleared.
The last thing is looky-loos.
Yeah, to be driving through like, whoa, look at something. But, I mean, we're trying. Even though they're not technically, because they are people, because it's kind of funny. Roswell are people. So, but we're trying to see what we could find to help them out.
Everybody take care of everybody. Yeah. And that's kind of what it is. But if you need that stuff too. Now I know we're getting into fall and all that here, planting. I mean,
wait, don't jump ahead. The weather might say we're going to be cool, but don't, because you're going to jinx it and then we're going to go back to the hundreds.
Probably. But I mean, people are thinking about this stuff now. I mean, what, like with the weather doing what it is, I mean, are people like, hold, like what's kind of like the time right now for that kind of stuff? I mean, we got like Braveheart going on here with the planting.
So what? What I can tell people, Bermuda lawns, go ahead and fertilizer on it now, because Bermuda's going to be going into dormancy here pretty soon. Good time now. Once it kind of cools off and stuff, leaves start falling. That's the time. Middle of September, you can go ahead and start replanting your fescue seeds or your rye grasses and stuff like that got damaged throughout the summer. That's the time to do it. Okay. If you plan on trying to kill out your Bermuda, you need to come and talk to us like ASAP, because you got to kill Bermuda while it's green.
Okay. Once it turns brown.
That's it.
See you next year.
Yeah, see you next year. I mean, people set their grasses on fire. Right. And it comes back.
But this is the reason why Bermuda grass grows well here.
It's full open sun. A weed.
Yeah. Well, we're not exactly the most great environment for growing most grasses. It's just too dry. But Bermuda's one of those ones. It's the cockroach.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it is. So
pre-emergence.
Yeah, the pre-emergent. You guys will be starting the pre-emergent at the end of October. That'll start going down. Now, everybody always has the misconception of the pre-emergent. If the weeds are already up, the pre-emergent is not going to do anything.
Gotcha.
The pre-emergent is just to keep the weeds seed from growing. So you need to get it down.
You got to do it before they germinate. And do what they do.
Start coming out. So we usually tell people the end of October, because around the middle of November is when mustard begins to germinate. And I don't know what evil German scientist came up with that weed, but it grows in snow, concrete, upside down. I actually seen it growing upside down once.
It's a hardy weed.
Yeah. And
it's like the weed of mesquites.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. The most nuisance of plants seem to be the hardiest, or the toughest to kill.
And you believe it or not, the rumor is that New Mexico State's the one who made that weed. That is the rumor.
A thing to be proud of.
So yeah,
Breaking Bad and mustard weed.
Yeah. It's like, oh man. So
I was gonna say, I don't remember seeing it in any history books.
And then people that are diehard gardeners, they'll be getting soil amendment, so getting their soils ready. And then covered up. Then most of the gardeners, like your big time gardeners, they get all their soil and stuff all tilled and stuff now, and then they cover it, and then they go in early spring and get it all kind of cleaned and touched up, and then they're ready for planting. And
then fall plants, lettuce, spinach.
Any of your leafies.
So is it like the timetable you normally would do that? Is it pushed back a little bit here with this weather, or kind of keep
we're kind of keeping with it, but the weather has caused some issues. We're getting a fungus. It's called Pythium blight, and it's attacking lawns. I've seen it seen it twice on fescue, but most of it's been attacking Bermuda grass.
Interesting.
So, and the bad thing is if you don't really look at it real quick, real close, it could look like grubs, but grubs generally don't attack Bermuda. They like more fescue. So if you think you might have Pythium blight, we do have some stuff that will take care of it. Unfortunately, fungicides are not cheap. They are very expensive. And I've been trying to find something comparable, a lot cheaper.
Sure. But doesn't exist yet.
Well, I do carry it for like small yards and stuff like that, but for people that have bigger yards and stuff, I carry a granule and I carry a spray. The bad thing about that is it's basically caused from the humidity. So generally we're like 10-15% humidity. I mean, now we're 30s and 50s. So that's where this is coming into effect.
Okay.
So if you're
so the moisture is actually this is a downside of
the moisture at night.
Gotcha.
If we're not dropping, if we're staying in the 80s in the evening time and it's still 35-40% humidity in the evening time, that's where this stuff is thriving.
Well, and this is why Bermuda thrives here, because it only wants so much moisture, and if you give it too much, then it's problems.
Yeah.
And so when it gets too much moisture, then you're dealing with these fungus and these issues.
So we have people that, I got, grubs, and it's like, are you sure? This is one of the things. So we've been kind of telling, watch your lawn. It's going to go from a green to like a green yellow, a yellow to a yellow brown, and then a brown.
Will it have will the blades have like a fungus on them?
Not really. They just discolor, kind of a funny looking color.
They just don't look right.
Yeah, they won't
look at it like, it don't look right.
It'll actually look like it's waterlogged. So it'll almost kind of look like ramen noodles when you kind of leave them out.
Okay.
They'll have the same kind of color, but they're just really disfigured.
Okay.
It'll have that kind of a look. Some have, one of the gentlemen that came in, he actually had what looked like spider webs in his grass. That was the fungus too. So the Pythium
is
blight,
that more of a case of it or more advanced?
I don't know, to be honest, but it's just like Pythium blight takes on many faces, but it's still the same outcome.
Like, is this stuff hard enough where, like, if you go unchecked, it will kill your grass?
Oh, it's gone. Yeah, your grass is gone.
Yeah.
And the bad part about it is you could transfer it from the front yard to backyard. So if you have Pythium blight, you need to disinfect your lawnmower.
It's contagious like a virus.
Like a virus. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So, we got the word out to all of our lawn and garden guys immediately, hey, watch for this. Because
so if everyone gets in the neighborhood, the whole neighborhood could get it. Because Bermuda grass,
they could take it from the other to the other. So, all of our lawn and garden guys, they've been disinfecting their lawnmowers and stuff like that. They're really jumping on it quick.
But it probably something as simple as even kids playing in the yard, then they run next door. I mean, on the shoes.
You could take it.
Animals, same thing. Yeah.
They'll take it,
This is the yard version of parvo and distemper.
I was to say, it's starting to sound a lot like your wife's world here.
This is the yard version of that. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's not a vaccine for your yard.
No, but there is an expensive treatment here.
There is. And he had to keep track of all that.
Well, not to mention that they probably grow so many things that aren't native to those parts.
Right. Yeah.
That they have to get creative and especially if they want a certain look and like, this is a dry climate plant in a moist climate.
Right.
It don't work. Oh, yeah?
Watch it.
Disney.
Yeah. Yeah. Just with that, he's got to be so organized. He probably not, but I'm talking him up. But he's got to be just, so organized when he does that. Yeah, because, he had to deal with certain things, certain times, certain dates, they have it down to a pinpoint, I'm sure. Kind of not like us, where it's kind of like, it's Tuesday. Hey, go for it.
There's a rotating exact schedule.
Yeah.
Imagine in theory if Drew walked away that day, there's someone that could easily walk right in and pick up right where he left off. The Disney machine, how it goes, you know what I mean?
So he came to lesser headaches, he's in Travis, but really good guy, really easy to talk to.
But feel free to give him mouse ears from time to time.
Yeah. Ears. Hi, Drew.
Like if they had like an AstroTurf green one.
Oh, that would be great. Oh my god. Now the wheels are turning. It's time. It's time. Who in town would have something like that?
We can make this happen.
Don't look at me.
We have got a bunch of Southern boys in this town with the ingenuity to make those kinds of things happen.
Oh man, is it ever? We just visited a new store the other day. or 209?
Mm-mm.
Okay, really cool store. Awesome. They got some one-off stuff in there. I mean, it's neat. Oh, very, very uniqueness. Cool guys. Dominic is the younger brother.
Dominic is the younger.
Oh, Dominic is the older brother. Yeah,
Okay.
and the other younger brother is
I don't know.
I forgot his name. Both really cool dudes.
Nice.
They make their own their hoodies. They make their own shirts.
Oh,
they
okay.
have cups customized. They
So they got a little
design
bit of
them.
everything.
They have it
Yeah.
made.
Nice.
But
and
his-
it's all just far out Roswell stuff and like stuff you don't see at like all of our other UFO places.
Unique.
209 donated some stuff for the silent auction.
Awesome.
Yeah, really cool old timey ammo can looking.
Oh, nice.
They make them there,
cool.
and stuff. Yeah, all one off stuff.
That's cool.
Their idea on it when I was talking to them, their idea on it is you can't buy this on Amazon. Most of all the other stuff around here you can buy,
Right.
An
I
inflatable
love
this
that.
or
What a
whatever.
great
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
And he's got some really really cool things.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I love it. Repurposing. Plus, I don't care what you say. That's just valuable to have an ammo can.
Okay,
around.
wait,
There's
hold it.
so many
So,
things you could do with it.
When I went to go pick this up,
Mm-hmm.
because this is the creation of the man basket for the man can, he goes, well, what are you going to use it for? I was like, tools. He goes, we use ours for lunch boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the ammo can. You can use them for anything.
That's what he
Yeah.
said. He's like, you can use this for anything.
Like,
Lunch,
yeah, the
tools,
ammo cans
ammo.
are the most because they're waterproof. They're steel. I mean, they're so versatile as far as you could literally throw them off a cliff and
They have
whatever's
small
inside
ones.
fine.
They have big ones.
She was like, got an ammo can over here at the thrift store. We could grab it. And you look, and I looked over and I was like, no. And she was all like, what? I was like, those are for 30 millimeter shells. That's 2 people carry that box.
Yeah.
And I
I'm
know
cool with
how
that.
she packs. I'm not in a forklift from work to be able to pick that box up and put it somewhere. There's no way,
Wait,
3 millimeter.
did you just hear him say he told me no? There you go. I never tell you no.
Okay, when it comes to,
Nope, nope.
my
Live radio, that's recorded. It's dated
here
on
we
the internet.
go. Dated on the internet.
I'll be tagged in
I
it
told
later.
you no. I don't know how many things. Wait. Let's go to this one. Since we like the no thing, so my nose to your nose. How many no's? You told me no like 4 times already just this morning.
Your name is no.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Mr. Noble.
Yeah.
No.
I'm always.
Well, at
getting
Roswell
around.
Seed, it's John Yesbull. He'll
Yeah.
say yes for
Yeah,
you.
oh my God.
There's a marketing gimmick right there.
Yeah, there's no bull at Roswell Seed.
Yeah, no bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way.
Well, some of the fertilizers may have a
Yeah,
ingredient.
yeah,
It just
yeah. You know,
depends.
there's a chemical composition.
Check the ingredients.
Yeah, check the ingredients.
We don't matter if it's
I am
cow
all
or
natural. I'm all natural.
Well,
Yeah.
So there.
bull is natural too, isn't it,
Yeah.
technically?
But do you know the majority of the compost is the females?
Is it?
Because that comes from dairies.
More nutrients
From the dairy cows.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that means you all are more full of stuff than us.
Y'all are only used for one thing. Peanut Cheerio.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It is going to be coming to the end of honey season.
Okay.
Mid-September, end of September.
So time to wrap up the bees and get them
Or hopefully.
put
Yeah.
to bed for the winter
So it's
kind of
been
thing.
so hot that we've only harvested once because we didn't want to take from them because it's too hot for them to fly and
Sure.
there's nothing growing for them to feed on. So we'll
not
probably
producing.
do our final harvest in mid to end September, huh?
Oh, I don't know. You tell me.
I'm asking.
I guess depends on the weather.
Yeah, well, no, my handler here, you know, I'm not allowed to. If I tell somebody, yeah, I'll do that. You know, we'll be there tomorrow. You can't be there tomorrow. Okay, why not? You got to do this tomorrow. Okay, whatever.
Okay, question.
Yeah, so.
Just answer the question.
No. You tell me when is a good time to go. I'm pretty much free and flexible.
I would say mid to end September.
Okay, that's what you need to
Generally,
start wrapping up your hides. And getting them
Yes.
put to
Well,
bed for
because
winter,
and
basically.
then temperature, and then a lot of it deals with daylight.
Gotcha.
So bees don't really fly because in the wintertime, daylight and cold and stuff like
and
that.
the bees die off, right?
No.
Oh, they
no.
hibernate?
Okay, so every every 38 days, bees die. So you have a new hive about every 38
so
days.
So technically the bees die, but the hive doesn't die.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
So
it.
they
repopulate.
They just don't do a whole lot of flying in the winter because it's too cold.
Sure.
So what they have inside is what they live on.
That's what they live. That's their build. So basically, why we take the honey, they're actually just building for the winter. Is what their instinct is telling them: build.
Right.
Yeah. For the winter. These stupid humans keep taking our winter supply.
Yeah. We feed them. We feed ours throughout the winter. But yeah,
what's going on.
Yeah, that's right. You know.
So for all beekeepers, if you need, to come and get your entrance reducers, feeders, come see us. I'm sure we still have plenty left because I don't think I sold everything.
Yeah, I got to get some. We're looking at some stuff to help out the beekeepers as well. It's I don't know, be kind of like Gatorade, for bees, where it gives them,
electrolytes.
Yeah, it gives them the oomph.
It
gives them the oomph to to be able to build and withstand the cold a little bit.
Gotcha.
I mean, sooner or later we're going to have a winter. When, I don't know, but we're going to have a
that
winter
day
sooner
happens,
or later.
Boy.
Yeah, there's going to be more snow angels being made all over the place.
Right.
We got some stuff last year that we tried that the bees, like 2 of the hives really liked it, and then the other 2 they didn't even touch it. So, and that was that pollen powder, huh?
Mm-hmm. So we mixed it with the sugar water.
We mixed it with sugar water and made a paste, and then like, oh, okay, we kind of like this now.
Now they got it in something they like.
Yeah, it's like dealing with 60,000 little 2-year-olds that are all female.
Where's the ketchup?
Yeah, basically.
Chicken nuggets.
It's like,
I can't eat that without salt.
Yeah. So we're gonna be getting some. I've talked to a couple of people. One's with Daydan. He's one of the higher up guys with Daydan. Thankfully, he knew Jim Gill. He called, gave his condolences and stuff like that, and me and him started talking. He was going to be looking into something for us here that was going to be more on the lines of more specific for us here. Excellent. Not just like a general, kind of like with our fertilizers. Our fertilizers work here because we know it. He's the kind of guy that, okay, I need this stuff.
Sure.
And he's like,
regionalize it to a much more narrow region.
Basically, yeah. So hopefully I'll be having some stuff for beekeepers.
Excellent. Which is why when you do go to Roswell Seed and they ask where you live, this is why. And it's much as you live on the south end of town, you live on the north end of town, the answers they give you will vary based on that question alone.
Oh, big time.
That's
big time. We're like little investigators because we're shorthanded, so we're bringing in new people. So we've been interviewing people and stuff, and that's the first thing that I ask them. It's like, be a detective, because it's the same thing. Like mechanics, I used to be a mechanic way back in the day. Mechanics, they'll know the same thing. Somebody brings you your car. What happened? Well, I just started doing this. It's
making that noise.
Yeah, it's making that noise. It's like, okay, did you work on it? No, I didn't do anything to it. And you start to look at it. Like, if you worked on the car, tell the damn mechanic so he could just fix it instead of going all the way around the horn.
Just to find out I did.
Yeah, I did this. It's like, okay, I like the people that used to come in and just be like, hey, look, I screwed it up. I did that. Not a problem. I know exactly what I'm doing. Go for it.
And guys get it.
Yeah,
because we all did the same thing.
Yeah,
I guarantee every mechanic in the room had a hold my beer moment that didn't go quite as planned.
Yeah, I just had one now out there in the back. One of the seat cleaning machines. I put a new switch in, and the Germans have a great sense of humor because the machine that we have, it's from 1981 and it came from East Germany, and so they wouldn't sell it to us direct. So we actually bought it from a company in Canada.
Wow!
And that's how we got it, but. The wiring on that machine is either a red wire or a black wire. There's no other color. So when I was wiring in these switches, I wired it in, I turned it on, it's not working. I turned it off, and I was turn it, push this, the breaker button, and it would open and close. And I'm like, great. So what do? Do I go and fix it? No. I call my boy Isaac over at Two Brothers Electric, and he answers the phone, and of course he groans, because it's this machine,
the bane of everyone's existence.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So he was just all like, okay, he goes, and I told him flat out, hey, dude, I wired this in, and I've got a wire across somewhere, and he's got the machine. He could go over there, touch this, and hit the switch.
Right.
Nope, that's
the multimeter.
Yeah, and okay, this is where it's at. This needs to go here.
Yeah.
Idiot. Okay, yeah, call me whatever. I don't care. Just get the machine running. But I am more than what would be the word? I am more stable enough in my manism now that I can just say, hey, I'm an idiot.
Right.
This is what I did.
Sure.
I don't have to,
This is above my pay grade.
Yeah, I'm married. I'm married. There's no more pride anymore. I don't have any of that stuff. It's just like, whatever.
But the thing is, you had to have at least 3 or 4 incidents of you sitting in a pile of something that you caused to get to that realization.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got electrocuted by that machine once, and I mean, that was enough.
That's how we learn.
When you get hit with enough voltage that it blows a chunk of skin out of your arm, that was a lot.
I don't know a radio engineer to this day that hasn't been a bit at least once. That's worth their salt. You know what I mean?
And when that happened, like 10 minutes after it happened, she come walking around the corner. And I was like, oh, man, because I seriously think it stopped my heart. I mean, I was on the ground. And one of my workers come running over because he heard me kind of make this, like, yell, gurgle sound, or actually the way he made it sound like a cheerleader falling down a flight of stairs, But
he laughed later.
Yeah. But come around the corner. She's sitting there looking at me. She was all like, 2 days. 2 days. You hadn't had your glasses for 2 days, and it blew a chip out of my glasses. And I'm sitting there, and of course, I'm still trying to come back down to earth after being electrocuted, And I'm all like, "What?" She's all like, "Your glasses," and I'm looking like trying to look through, and oh yeah, okay, I see it. She's yelling at me for that, but not the big hole in my arm, So.
I didn't see that first.
And then I got yelled at for being electrocuted. I'm like, damn, I cannot win.
No.
Yep, that's life. But so come learn from his mistakes. Come to Roswell Seed.
Come on
get
down.
these things done. Just all the time. We better wrap it up here. But seriously, if you're having issues, if you're like, dude, this weather's got me flummoxed on this stuff. Come to Roswell Seed. Let them talk to them and just explain what's going on. Just tell them. And even if you tried things and screwed it up, let's get it fixed. Because trust me, they've probably heard every story.
Well, but the trying aspect then gives us kind of somewhere to start off from as well.
It gives you a clue.
A better reference point, because we don't know it all. But I mean, you say, something, oh, I tried this and it didn't work. It's like, whoa, I would have told you to probably do that. So if that didn't work, then we're going to go to this.
Right. Thank you.
Type of deal.
That's a step. Let's go to step 2 now.
Yeah.
If you're unsure about the yard fungus, which I can't say that word, I'm not going to try. Take photos, bring samples.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pictures speak 1,000 words.
They
if
do.
You're trying to explain an issue, you're going take pictures, take video, whatever it is, anything to help John or his team kind of look at it and say, oh yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Or that looks something like this, but not quite. It looks a little different.
Yeah. Make sure the pictures are and not in a folder of other pictures. Seen a couple already, man. It's like, wow, nice tattoo. So,
the cloud.
It's just all like.
Of course, they will look at them. Like if you present them, they will look. But
we're not stupid.
But protect yourself. Leave it. Maybe put it.
We are very, very professional about it too. Absolutely. I mean, it's just kind of like, oops. There you go.
I've heard all those stories of like people use like certain pics as their like picture for someone they call, and then they call and you're like, what is
who's that?
That is who's this?
Yeah,
with this big thing in their picture. But if you have any questions, anything, if you got anything related to gardening, getting your yard right, trees that are just cattywampus, whatever, come into Roswell Seed, explain it to them, tell them exactly what you're doing and what's going on there, and let them go to work on trying to resolve that problem.
Definitely.
Or it could be something as simple as you grab this, put it on there, you're good to go, or it's now we gotta let's
delve into the depths.
Yeah, let's crack the case here.
Yeah.
We got a cool case file.
Yeah, cool. I need one of those Sherlock Holmes hats. Be awesome. Oh, don't look at me in that tone of voice. Yeah, see, I get that. I've had that all. I mean, I deserved the one this morning, but not the other 4. There was only 3, maybe 4. Okay, whatever.
Well, if you got questions for John, you might want to ask him soon. He might not be around tomorrow.
Probably gonna see my face.
Yeah. Have you seen this boy?
They don't. They're plastic jugs now. There's no room for your face.
Dang it.
Awesome. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to cover?
I think that's it.
Next Monday, Roswell Seed will be closed in Labor Day.
For the Labor Day holiday. Yeah. Yes, they are enjoying the day off like many others.
If you got stuff to do, get it this week or this weekend.
Yeah.
But next Monday, they will be closed.
And you have to wait till Tuesday.
You have to wait till Tuesday.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys.
So
And if you come in on Tuesday, we're going to be all screwed up anyways because we had Monday off.
That's right.
So, yeah, everything gets get thrown off, type of deal.
So it'll all be a cattywampus.
Yeah, cattywampus type deal. So I'm going to start telling people, go to Hangar 209 and go inside of there. They got this really cool little soda area, and I like the strawberry soda. And then you can bring that in for bribery.
There you
so
go.
I'm going from chocolate chip cookies to strawberry soda.
Yeah.
I know that's not going to help out anything I'm supposed to do, but it sounds cool. I like it that way.
And you got free soda. So
Yeah.
it's a win either way. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
If I don't see you next time, I know what happened.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm pretty sure there'll be a good story behind it.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we're closing in on 9:59. Quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
Mortgage rates are coming down, but buyers want the home prices to come down. Pending home sales are lower than a year ago. Consumer spending did rise over the month before. The newest inflation report says prices, though, did not come down any more last month, but they've basically stopped rising. Prices should come down some more soon if the Federal Reserve cuts its interest rates as expected. The Wall Street Journal says a lot of companies are now cutting starting salaries for senior roles by a third or more, and for entry-level jobs by as much as 50%. One business owner says, I want everybody in America to but he stopped getting signing bonuses at his McDonald's franchises because his labor costs are now higher than his food costs. With the Market Report, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
There are black beans, and then there are Goya black beans. Whole, plump, delicious, and loved by all kinds of chefs. The professional chefs at Chef's Best love them so much, they awarded our beans their Excellence Award. At Home Chefs love them so much, they awarded our beans the internationally acclaimed Goya black beans. Whole, plump, and oh so delicious. Find them in the Goya section of your local grocery store. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio. KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Former President Trump getting back on the campaign trail today with an event in Atlanta. Mr. Trump took Labor Day off. Meanwhile, the Harris campaign is hitting the road.
The vice president's team calls it the Reproductive Freedom Bus Tour, and it demonstrates how...
More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there, and with the best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Keir Starmer's government said it's suspending exports of some weapons to Israel. These suspensions were announced by Foreign Secretary David Lammy.
For certain UK arms exports to Israel, there does exist a clear risk that they might be used to commit or facilitate a serious violation of international humanitarian law.
Lammy, who has visited Israel twice in the past 2 months as part of Western efforts to push for a ceasefire, said that he is a friend of Israel, but called the violence in Gaza horrifying. I'm Norman Hall.
Outgoing Japanese Prime Minister Kishida is going to South Korea, the mission aimed at improving the two countries' relations. The South Korean president's office says the two leaders will discuss further developing two-way ties, as well as strengthening their cooperation in regional and in global issues. News and analysis at townhall.com. A long-delayed trial begins this week for a man who killed 10 people in a supermarket in Colorado.
No one disputes that Ahmad Al-Aliwi Alisa opened fire at a supermarket in Boulder, Colorado in 2021. He's pleading not guilty by reason of insanity to 10 counts of first-degree murder, 15 counts of attempted murder, and other offenses. Survivor Emily Giffen recalled that fateful day.
He went hunting in a barrel full of fish. Nobody was prepared.
Prosecutors will argue Alisa had been planning the shooting, researching things like what kinds of bullets are the most deadly and information about the Christchurch attacks in New Zealand. The defense plans to focus on his mental state. I'm Jennifer King.
One person is dead, 2 others missing after a boat they were on hit a jetty in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. The missing apparently were not wearing life jackets. There were 8 or 9 people on board the vessel, that according to local media accounts. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
That's not how you eat a taco.
Found the video.
I did. Posted
the old El Paso from last hour.
I'm going to catch flack for it, too. I know people are going to do that in front of me from now on, but
yeah,
you
did open that can of worms.
It's fine. Sometimes we use this space as therapy, and I had to get it off my chest.
I know every time you go out for tacos, your friends are going to be with you, and they've heard this, and they're going to do that. So yeah, you're going to have to deal with it. Especially if you got to connect to a flight in which you're leaving Roswell, New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
You're connecting to a flight.
There will be connections, yeah.
Whether you fly out of Roswell or even Albuquerque.
The only way you're going to get a nonstop flight out of Roswell is if you charter a jet to your destination.
Or you're just going to Dallas.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just going to Dallas.
Yeah.
Which actually, I might be doing July of next year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's
What's
a big...
in Dallas in July of next year?
Well, it's in Arlington. They, basically where the Rangers play, they're going to be holding the next All In, which is kind of like the brand of wrestling that I watch is like their WrestleMania.
Okay.
So it's like a huge stadium event thing.
So they're going to do it in the Cowboy Stadium? Or
no, where the Rangers play.
Where the Rangers play there in Arlington. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, so it should make for an interesting go round. However, I have not. The video has ended. What?
That's interesting.
Our online video is having a little difficulty right now.
Some internet issues.
Yeah, I think the gerbil died that was keeping it going.
Put a few more acorns in the hopper. Get that thing going.
In the hopper.
But okay.
So
that's interesting to me because that's a baseball stadium. Now, granted, it's indoors, but I'm usually not hearing other activities in baseball stadiums other than baseball.
You don't really
see
a lot
of stadiums. They're multi-purpose, but a baseball, I never really they're not doing a lot of concerts and things.
And that's the thing: basketball arenas, hockey arenas, football stadiums. They're all usually in the round, so you have that stadium setting.
Yeah.
Baseball, there tends to be one main side.
Yeah.
But it's a big side.
So I'm kind of curious, to see what that looks like.
But I feel like that's actually the perfect. Now this is where I nerd out. And if our new buddy is listening, he'll agree with me on this. The way it's going to be set up is it'll have the entire crowd back here, and they have something called the hard cam, which is the main camera that everybody plays to. They can set that hard cam up and have the entire crowd. It's going to make for a beautiful crowd shot.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that it's not going to obscure a lot of vision because it's all playing to one side.
And that's something I forget too is wrestling markets different. As in, yes, they want people to go to their live events and be there, but it's more for the television audience than it is for the live audience. You know what I mean? I forget that where other sports it's not that way.
And they play to hard cam, but more often, or sometimes they'll turn around and play to crowd, and it's off-putting when you're watching it on like a pay-per-view situation.
Sure.
The best way I've seen it put actually was South Park. They had they were doing their rendition of it, and they had Vince and Linda walk into a opera, like a box, and he had the big glasses, and so it was like watching an opera. It's like it's set up like that. They play to the crowd, but they also have to play to the camera, so it's kind of a two-way weird opera thing, hybrid dance.
Opera and wrestling go hand in hand.
That's right. La Boheme.
They both end when the fat lady sings. Honestly, But it just when you said it, I was like, I never thought of a baseball stadium in that way. So it just kind of put my brain in that direction.
If I decide to fly, that would be the first time I've been on a commercial airline since before 9/11.
I will say since you went to Ethiopia, right?
Romania, close.
Romania, that's it. That was one of those countries.
So it's definitely one of those Eastern Bloc countries.
Jeffrey went to Ethiopia. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, because I know both y'all went on mission trips. His went to Ethiopia. Yours was Romania. That's right. Yep.
Actually, I'm not sure if he was with us on the trip, but you did the interview recently with Lonnie, Pastor Lonnie. He was involved with Christchurch right around the time we were doing that trip. So I can't remember if he went with us or not. Not right offhand, sure. But yeah, it was a fun trip. So if I do end up getting on a plane, that'll make things interesting for sure.
And in all fairness, that's the easy one. Like you're getting on one plane from Roswell to Dallas.
Right.
Going through security in Roswell is nothing like going through security anywhere else.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, yes, they do it thoroughly. I'm not trying to, but there's not nearly the numbers of people going through. And so you can go through security in a relatively short time here, where you could spend hours in Dallas.
Okay, so there's a new trend on, I guess it's Instagram, and it's maybe the most annoying trend of the year. People are styling their TSA bins. You know, when you go through the TSA and you have to empty your pockets,
put your wallet and all that.
They're setting it up like they're feng shuiing it to where like their phone is in one spot and they make like a little space in the corner for their like
a
keys.
charcuterie board out of their stuff.
It's like they're stylizing their TSA tubs and then they take pictures of it for
Instagram.
Instagram.
Kind of time, man. Just get to the thing to get out and put it back in your pocket.
Can you imagine being at LaGuardia on like Labor Day weekend and some jerk in front of you is sitting there trying to take a stylized photo of their bin?
Like if you're going to plan, plan to have less in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's how I plan. I'm like, I got to go through security today. What's the least amount of stuff I can get away with in my pocket?
Right.
So I've got like my phone, my wallet, and that's about it. The rest I'm like, I'm putting in the carry-on. I'm putting it in travel. You know, I'm putting it in a place where I don't have to throw it out of my pocket. I'll throw it in the bag. And then, you know, obviously if it's laptops and stuff, you got to take them out.
Right.
But I'm not the guy, like my keys. I even pack my keys because I'm like, I don't need the keys for a while. I'm going on vacation. I'm not going to unlock or anything.
That's true, although I feel weird if I don't have my keys in my pocket.
I pack them in the bag because I'm like, I'm not going to be getting it. Once I'm out, I'm like, why am I carrying my keys in my pocket?
Like I was on a weekend excursion recently and I didn't drive during that weekend, but I still felt so weird if I didn't have my keys in my pocket.
Yeah,
it's like it's a control thing.
But on vacation, I deliberately, I'm like, nope, put the keys in the thing because I'm not going to... Because if I do anything else, then I carry them around with me, there's a chance they'll be lost.
Fair enough.
And so this way I know where they're at. I'm not going to need them. There's just one more thing I got to rummage through my pockets for when I'm trying to get stuff out of my pockets. You know?
What can I say? I live life on the edge. I like to know that at any point in time I could risk losing
And
them.
this is where my brain, I'm always the path of least resistance guy.
Sure.
I'm like, what can I do to make this as quick and as painless as possible? And so that's how I think. And I'm like, all right, I don't really need that because it's going to slow me down here. You know what I mean? And so that's how I think.
My mindset has changed a little bit over the last, we'll call it like 4 or 5 years. In yes, I do seek the path of least resistance more often than not. However, when things tend to go nipples north, I like the idea of the mindset of a bad day makes for a good story.
Yeah.
So if it's going to be a bad situation, at the very least, I can glom something off of it in the form of, I'm going to tell this to somebody later and we're going to laugh about it.
Yeah.
So
I like to think that way. Mm-hmm. But in my head, the whole other thing of, great.
Yeah.
Now I got to do this.
No, yeah, it's an exhausting way to live your life, but it does make for great parties.
Yeah. So, but that being, and in all fairness, I'm less tolerant of these things in my older days than my younger. Like, I put up with people's nonsense younger. Now I have less patience. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I'm unique there. I think more about everybody's that to a point.
As your knees start to hurt more and more, you start to hate things more and more. It's just how it works.
But yes, I have some things I'm very patient for. Mm-hmm. And then and to be honest, I don't make sense, because there's things that most people want to punch other people in the face for. I'm like, don't worry about it.
Right.
And then there's other nitnoid things.
Yeah, that's the thing, is the nitnoid things are the ones that get you.
And then the next thing you know, I'm ready to go scorched earth.
It's like, no, you could put Mike in one of the most like high intense stress situations. And I know this is your military training to put in action. You can maintain calm, cool,
I'm pretty
collected.
even keeled, yeah.
Now send Mike a production order at 4 p.m. on a Thursday.
You will hear some.
You are going to hear through gritted teeth some of the most vile things you've ever heard in your whole life.
It comes out, man, and I do it. I'm not proud of it. Mm-hmm. It just happens. It's the same thing in the car. If I get like driving and I'm by myself, especially, because I try to. When I'm other people, like I have to act like an adult here. But when I'm by myself, I let the freak flag fly. I'm like, I don't care. I'm only when he hears it's me. It makes me feel better.
You could do a whole podcast off of that. Just have it recording you in the car while you're driving. Just Mike rages out.
Yeah,
Boston edition.
If you've cut me off in town at some time, I probably wish cancer upon you. Various other things. Yes.
On you or a loved one.
Yeah, I don't go levels. I go scorched earth right out the gate.
Your vitriol is relatively non-specific. It's like, you cast a wide net.
Yeah, you didn't signal. I hope your family all dies of malaria.
Cut me off? Yeah. Well, monkeypox.
Yeah, that's what I'm not proud of it. That's my immaturity.
Fair enough.
But yeah, people will be like, we got an accident and 6 people are injured. All right, let's triage it. Let's do this. But you have to be like, but exactly. The pen don't write.
I'm gonna kill somebody. Yeah, that's when the neck veins come out.
Yep, that's me. All right, let's get the hour going. Steve Alvarez joined us last week, talking from Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, talking about Dragonfly Festival, which is this weekend.
Yes.
So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few. Before we do that, let's go ahead and take a gander at your calmer, gentler weather forecast. It's so not bad. That's a slogan. Come check out the weather. It's so not bad.
It sucks less these days.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting some sunshine with a few clouds today. Scattered showers around the area, but drier air is moving in. Fairly comfortable daytime highs, though. Our afternoon highs today in the mid to upper 70s. Overnight will be clear, lows near 60, and then plenty of sunshine coming up for Wednesday. And still pretty nice on those temperatures, low to mid 80s. Sunny, and we're in the upper 80s on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 68 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 60%. Winds currently out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Nice day today. Mostly sunny. 78 for a high. Winds will be out of the north 5 miles per hour. Dare I say it? Maybe a perfect weather day today. Tonight, partly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 60. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Mostly sunny for your Wednesday, the high of 84. Winds will be out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear with an overnight low of 64 degrees. Thursday, sunny and 88 with winds calm out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. They have tacked on a 20% chance of rain for Thursday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 63. And then looking at Friday and the weekend, sunny and 87 for Saturday. Sunny and 86 for Saturday, and 88 and sunny on Sunday. So a little bit warmer as the week progresses there. All right, it is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with Steve Alvarez from Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. That's coming up next. Don't go away.
Hey Roswell, summer's winding down, but the deals are still high during the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event at the all-new Roswell Ford. Right now, get crazy low prices on all-new Fords and quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. And top dollar for your trade. Stuck in your loan or lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. So you can drive a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. For a limited time, get 0% APR and $3,400 in bonus cash on 2024 F-150 trucks. And make no payments for 90 days. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months to $2,778 per thousand. Subject to lender approval through Ford credit. Offers not combined.
Artesia General Hospital has welcomed cardiologist Luther Weathers to the team. Dr. Weathers is board certified with a subspecialty in cardiovascular diseases. He treats patients with genetic heart defects, heart rhythm disorders, heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic high blood pressure, and other cardiovascular diseases. Call 575-736-8270 to schedule your visit with Dr. Weathers in Artesia, or visit artesiageneral.com/cardio appointment. Se habla español.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, Steve Alvarez back with us. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Mike. How's it going?
How's life at the refuge this morning?
It's a little hectic right now, as always.
It is arguably probably the busiest time of year out at Bitter Lake right now, because we are basically a week away from this year's Dragonfly Festival.
Next Saturday, September 7th.
Yeah, and technically next Friday things will kick off.
That's correct.
Because the one-day party always spills into 3 days. That's kind of how it goes into.
Exactly.
But we will unofficially or kick off Friday night with they'll start with a Dragonfly
presentation. Karen Gaines, she did a lot of research at the refuge, and when we first found out we had that many dragonflies, they started doing a lot of different things out there, and she did, I think, her master's out there, and she's been being a guide.
This has been her laboratory for a good hunk of her life.
She really loves Bitter Lake, so she's a good presenter.
So she's going to kind of kick things off, and then, weather permitting, they'll have a star party afterwards. So bring your telescopes and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool because when you get away from Roswell, even though it's not a huge town, all the lights
makes a big difference.
Yeah, so you go out there and it's pretty dark. As long as the clouds stay away, we're good.
Yeah, absolutely. So the weather permitting, knock on wood here, and then Saturday it kicks off with all the tours, all the fun, and everything.
Well, let me let you also. It's the Roswell Astronomy Club.
They're the ones that
has been doing that, and they've been volunteering. They've been doing a great job.
Yeah, so they make it. They give you that fun part, and so.
Oh yeah.
So Dragonfly Festival goes to the pond and beyond.
There you go.
There's
That's
a slogan
right.
for you.
That's
right. but yeah, it is really a fun weekend. If you've never come out to Dragonfly Festival, please make a point to come out this year. There's so much going on Saturday,
and everything's free.
That's it. Everything is free.
Yeah.
Now to take advantage of some of the stuff, you do need to pre-sign up.
Yeah, we're getting really busy. A lot of our tours are already booked up.
Okay.
if you want to go ahead and try to reserve a deal, a tour,
yes,
call 575-244-6256.
Yes, that is the phone number.
And if it's busy, I mean, just keep trying because we get a lot. We only got one phone.
And if you're driving or whatever and can't write that down, if you go to friendsofbitterlake.org, click on the Dragonfly Festival link. It'll have the phone number there and the
schedule,
the tour times and everything right there.
The other thing, we don't have advertising. I think we do on the website, but for the last couple of years, we've had a butterfly release.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I was like, is that full or is there still a few openings there?
We got quite a bit of butterflies available. We got about 200 butterflies to release. So they're monarch butterflies.
So if you have some kids who would like to sign up to do that, it's free.
It's a great photo op. The butterflies will be on the kid's finger, and then it takes off.
It's one of the highlights of the Saturday is to have the kids get there, and it's really cool. And of course, they learn about the monarch butterfly and learn kind of their purpose and what what they're basically they're creating this next batch that's going to get the herd to the next point.
Exactly, and there is some concern about the population. That's why you wouldn't think, but the monarchs, at one time they're even considering listing it as endangered, and we're like, wow, that's pretty crazy. But we're trying to make sure the populations come back. And,
absolutely. Well, and they serve such a role in the ecosystem, and they're very like if you're studying butterflies, they're very interesting.
They're cool.
They got, I mean, because they're so tough yet so frail at the same time. It's so interesting.
Yep, and their bright colors is a warning to the predators. If you eat me, you're gonna get sick. Cause, they eat milkweed and. That has a toxin in their body.
Yeah, their defenses, they taste like crap.
Yeah, they do. Not only that, but you get sick. That's true.
Hey, that's a fine defense, and no one wants to eat you.
And speaking of butterflies, we also have had one of the first projects other than the Dragonfly Festival that the Friends of Bitter Lake has done. We had a butterfly trail, and they planted native plants. Milkweed,
things that encourage the monarchs.
Exactly. Not only monarchs, but other butterflies and stuff. But so, and if you're interested, you can always try to help in the spring. We do a spring planting, and in the fall, sometimes we do some cleanup. So let us know. Give us a call.
Absolutely. That's another, and because Dragonfly Festival weekend, it's a Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, big tentpole event. But it does not happen without the Friends of Bitter Lake organization.
Correct.
They are the volunteer organization that's kind of the official part of the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Yeah, exactly. We but on that note too, on the butterflies is even though it's the Dragonfly Festival, we have used the festival to kind of highlight and let people know about the wildlife diversity.
Absolutely.
Bitter Lake is a biological, pretty cool place. It is really amazing.
Well, we every time I have Steve or anyone from Bitter Lake or Friends of Bitter Lake on, I tell people Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is kind of like the Pilot Flying J for the nature's world. It's home to study and to preserve habitat, plant life and wildlife native to this area.
Yeah.
But the other role is all your migratory animals, birds, butterflies.
Oh yeah, that was originally.
It's a rest stop. They come. While they're traveling north or traveling south, they fuel up. They sometimes have their offspring. It just depends the time of year, and then they move on to their next destination.
Mike, you're good on the biology. We're going to have to hire you. Man.
That's kind of what Bitter Lake is.
Yeah, it is really, really cool place.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's only about 7 miles from town. I mean, people here in Roswell probably don't appreciate, or if they do. It's just you have this really cool place right next door.
Absolutely.
I mean, that doesn't happen all the time.
It literally is an oasis in the desert.
Oh,
That's
it is.
Exactly
it is. Perfect.
When you watch the Looney Tune cartoons and Bugs Bunny's going through the desert and he comes across that thing, that's Bitter Lake.
And we see Bugs Bunny out there with the old jackrabbits.
That's right. Exactly. So that being said, Dragonfly Festival is really that one time a year where we let the public see parts that you don't necessarily get to see during the year.
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, it's a wildlife refuge.
Yeah.
You are not the priority there. You are a visitor. You're a spectator.
Right.
You're just there observing life. you're not to engage or to interfere with it.
But we love everybody's support. That's the whole thing. We get public support through this, and it's been an awesome event. You just reminded me another event that people can come, not an event, but a part of the program. At 6:30, we have a bird program. They take you out to the closed areas to see some. And Bitter Lakes Refuge, we've got like over 350 different types of birds. And just recently, we had a spoonbill, a bird that normally lives in the subtropical area like Florida and Louisiana. And it got blown off course. Yeah. But it was pretty cool because it was hanging around the ponds and it was beautiful. Look, people think it's pink, so they think it's a flamingo.
Gotcha, but it's not.
No, it's not.
And that's the other cool aspect of Bitter Lake that just happens from time to time out there is the nature's anomalies there where a species of bird or something, like you said, gets blown off the migrant. The Gulf Streams messed up and they got separated from the group, and they end up resting there. And sometimes they'll stop and get rest up or lay offspring or whatever.
Well, they'll stay there for a little while and then they move on.
With the group again.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I always tell people at the visitor center that sometimes we'll have people go, "What's out here?" It's because they just did not hit the right time. It's dead. It's hot. Nothing's around. And then they go, "Man, what's out here?" And then we tell them, "Hey, come at a different time because you never know what's going to show up."
Think of Bitter Lake in terms like how you think of weather. Like when it's hot and the hottest part of the day, the last thing you want to do is being outside and stuff.
Correct.
Animals are the exact same way.
Yep.
They do their work in the earliest parts of the day or at dusk or in the later parts of the day.
Exactly, or it's cooler.
Yeah, that's when the action happens.
Yep.
During the day, they're hunkered down, cooling off like the rest of us.
We're going to hire you, Mike. Mr. Biologist.
And that's life out there. And as soon as you understand that, then it all makes sense. Everything makes sense. You're there just to, and really the fight, and this is like when they're talking about, and this is where the friends come in, and if you really want to get involved, become a friend. Like these projects he's talking about in the fall and the spring that they do, this is it, because we talk about the animal life, but the plant life is probably the bigger of the two battles. That because there's so many non-native plants and stuff that have ended up here that work well here because of our climate, but they work so well that they crowd out and fight out the stuff that's native and things like that. So the battle going on within the boundaries of the refuge is keeping the non-native out and producing and protecting the native.
Exactly. That's part of our mission there. We do try to get rid of a lot of invasive plants. We had when I first got here, we had a lot of salt cedar. It looked like a big forest of we should have called Bitter Lake National Forest. It was so many, but over time they've removed quite a bit of it, and it's been
and the
good
natives
for the
starting
habitat.
to take back over again.
Some of it, that's right.
But
exactly.
it's a process.
Oh yeah,
and that's kind of getting back to what you were saying before about coming out to Bitter Lake, and you come out at 4 different times a year. Bitter Lake, it's a 4 different experience.
And you'll see different animals at different times. Mm-hmm. The cranes, you're not going to see cranes right now.
Yeah,
you'll see them October.
Yeah, you're a month or 2 out from the cranes.
Exactly. Here. But another thing you can see is we do have an endangered plant called the Pecos sunflower.
Okay.
And it's cool because that they're blooming right at the time we have the festival.
So perfect
when you're driving out there,
it knows when the show is.
Yeah, and if it hits just right, it is pretty cool because the refuge will be really pretty. You'll just see it like a sheet of yellow all over the marsh area. And most sunflowers, they'll bloom away from the marsh. But the interesting thing about the Pecos, it likes water and near the water.
Okay, so it's going
to
be
alkaline soils. So it'll be right next to the marshes.
Yeah,
It's really, really cool.
Interesting. Well, this is what with Dragonfly Festival. That's Saturday. Of course, we were talking about the different tours. So one of them's the Dragonfly Tour, and that's when you're going out and seeing the various species of dragonflies and
things.
They have
special specialists, the guides.
Yeah.
They come here specifically to teach you guys about dragonflies.
And so those tours will focus heavily on that.
Yeah.
Now, we also have what's called the wildlife tours. And that kind of covers more
the management,
the overall aspect of the
our biologist, he'll tell you things about the refuge. Like right now, we do have a shortage of water. One of our creeks is
That's what I was saying earlier. I was like, they're not complaining about this weekend. I know the rest of us are a little worried, but Bitter Lake's loving this weekend.
Yeah. So the biologists have been working heavily on getting, we've got some endangered species that live in the creeks, and in fact they had to move some out of there, and and take them to Dexter recovery.
Well, I would
area.
imagine that as those water levels rise and low, that changes the chemical makeup of that water a little
it
bit.
It does, the temperature,
and it affects
all
that
stuff.
That species,
yeah,
plant life and animal life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's the refuge, people think, what do you do out here? What is out here? Well, we variety thing, like you mentioned, the invasive plants. We work the water to make sure we got water during the migration. We've got to watch all our endangered species. Sure. We got the public to worry about, the visitor center. Sure. So there's quite a bit of stuff going out there.
Well, and that's you're kind of that liaison to public, because this is why Steve and his staff and the people
I'm there.
You're there to allow the public to enjoy these beautiful things, but also remind the public why it's here.
Exactly.
But at the same time, be also that go-between for those researchers, the studiers, the scientists, the people that are truly learning and contributing to knowledge, the human history, the knowledge of what these animals and plants do.
Yeah, it's cool. And I've been doing this for about 30 years, and it's just amazing. I always like to remind the public is that, hey, this stuff is yours, not mine.
Sure.
This belongs to the American people, and you guys need to be so proud because there is so many cool things in
You're
the
just
United
in charge
States.
of taking care of it.
Yeah, you got all these national parks, you got the national forests, you got these beautiful refuges. I mean, the tremendous resources we have on this country is really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is come see these beautiful treasures here in your own backyard.
It is.
And Dracula. Oh, one other tour, and it may be full, but you could try, is they do an early bird tour there on Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's the
that one, and that tour focuses on birds, and it's early.
And normally, I think it is full, but give us a call or maybe even show up. Because what we'll do is we'll carpool and follow the people there.
We'll figure it out one way or another if there's enough interest. Because
exactly.
It's dark 30. You're getting up at 6:30 for that one. So
that's
why it's called the early bird tour.
Early bird tour, exactly. And there's a lot of we focus this a lot on kids' activities. There's a fishing pole provided by the New Mexico Game and Fish.
Yeah,
they've been great partners. They got some archery out there. We've got a bunch of little activities that they could do at some of the stations. A lot of exhibitors. This year I got a lot of vendors coming out. So we have Stellar's Coffee will have a trailer out there. So you can have some early morning coffee.
And I believe every time you're purchasing coffee from them, you're helping out the CASA kids too. So it's
correct.
A double whammy helper there.
Exactly. It's cool. So we're excited to have them.
Usually scouts are out there with food.
Oh, yeah. The scouts will be selling probably hot dogs and hamburgers. And,
excellent.
That's a fundraiser for them. They always love coming out.
They'll be very popular around lunchtime.
Oh, yeah. But, I've been here since it pretty much started, and it's pretty cool to see that everybody's, when I ask for people to come over, they get excited about coming because it's such a successful event.
It is. It's a great. It's a fun. It is really the crown jewel of Bitter Lake's
activities
for the year.
It is.
And I hope you come out to Bitter Lake for Dragonfly Festival in the hopes that you learn what the rest of how awesome that refuge
it is. And if it depends. Right now, I've seen a lot of dragonflies around, so you guys should be
pretty
good
good for those.
Yeah.
Huh?
Bird life, we've seen a lot of waterfowl, but not as many shore.
I got a feeling these 105 temps have probably deterred them from hanging out and stuff. So maybe this week or two with the weather, moisture might draw a few in.
Yeah, every year is different because 1 year I thought it was a dead time for birds. And man, they saw a variety of birds, and it was exciting.
This might be a blessing in disguise. A couple weeks of cooler temps and a little moisture before Dragonfly.
Well, even with the rain that we just had, it filled up some of the areas, and we did see birds.
Yeah, you're going to see. Even plant life. I mean, you put a little natural rainwater on it, and
it just pops
overnight.
Up.
It starts.
Exactly.
Well, look at your weeds in your yard. It does the same thing.
That's right. The other thing, Mike, I was going to mention is if you can't make it on Saturday, we have had Sunday tours.
Yes.
Now on Sunday it's just tours. There's not exhibitors. All the other stuff is on Saturday.
They're just Saturday.
Yeah. But Sunday we do have a variety of dragonfly tours still available.
They start about 9 and then they usually wrap up about 1 or so in the afternoon.
Exactly. So we run about 3 tours and but it's kind of good. It's a slower pace, nice. They've been fun, you know. So hopefully we'll see you.
Yeah, trust me, if you've never come out, check it out. Go to friendsofbitterlake.org and read everything. By the way, there you can see some of the cool artwork for this year's Dragonfly Festival.
I'm glad you mentioned that because Aubriana Gonzalez from Washington Avenue, 4th grader, was this year's winner.
Yeah.
We had about 500 entries. Mike,
I was one of the judges,
and so, any of the kids throw rocks at your window for not voting for them?
Well, to be honest, it was not easy. They were so talented, these kids.
It was a lot of fun. I was glad to see you there.
It was hard, and there was grown people making arguments over back and forth on what they like better and this stuff. So
it was a cool process.
It was very cool. It's very cool. But yes, we had an amazing winner. But thank you to every single student that turned in. You made a bunch of people happy. Just seeing all your beautiful
it is.
artwork.
Everybody, we got a lot of comments about the artwork. And it's been fun. It's been a fun deal.
It is, and so when you see all the flyers and things like that, be sure to congratulate her and all the winners, because you can see all the other artwork and stuff too, because they have different categories by age group and stuff, and then they have an overall, which is your flyer and all that.
I'll
stuff.
be best to show. So and they get to win some cash too.
That's right. You do get cash money.
Yeah,
and they get
she
not
won
just bragging
about
rights.
$100, and the Friends of Bitter Lake provide that, and and I'll have I've been here for like 20 something years, and we first started this Dragonfly poster contest. I've had kids at that time that are now adults.
Right,
and
now
they
you're
go, hey, how's that Dragonfly thing? Or they still remember how exciting it was.
I think we should make some of them judges next time.
Well, we should. That's right. That's true. That's not a bad idea.
A full circle moment there. That'd be kind of cool.
That's right.
But please come out, and then of course I do want to put a plug in for the gift store there at Friends of Bitter Lake, or at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. That is run by the Friends of Bitter Lake.
That is.
And that whenever you go on there and buy books or buy T-shirts or buy gifts from there, you're contributing to conservation projects, and everything goes back to Bitter Lake Wildlife.
And the Friends have done a wonderful job running that store. Right now, Jana Birch, she's our manager. We had Barbara. She used to run it too. Together, they have made that bookstore just awesome. I mean, the items you get there are things that you normally can't get anywhere locally.
To be honest, it rivals like a Smithsonian gift store.
Yeah,
like if you go to like a Smithsonian museum and you see as much stuff. If you've never been to one, there's a ton of stuff in there. It rivals something like that.
And as you're probably well aware, it's got a lot of natural nature stuff, from birds to plants to insects to fish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, and they get some stuff that you can get for Christmas, because there's some cool stuff.
I'm about to say these are great gifts things for stuff. Like if you're looking for toys for kids that are educational but actually fun and kids that want to play with, they've got stuff like that. But if you've got like the books, like if you do have a reader, a nature loves that, there's gonna be a ton of that. Clothing, everyone loves T-shirts and stuff and hats, and if you're doing Bitter Lake local stuff and you have someone has a local thing, get them the T-shirts.
The T-shirts, we get comments about that all the time. They say, man, your T-shirts are so...
You're a walking billboard for me. That's a great thing, so we appreciate that.
Exactly. And the thing is, too, like if you have family, friends come visit Roswell, Bitter Lake's a perfect destination to take them, because you can go to the bookstore, you can go to the visitor center. They got a really nice orientation film, and then you can take a drive, a 7-mile drive around the marsh area.
Absolutely. Yeah, come do it. Now, I want to share this real quick since you're here. And the other day I was at my my Roswell Chamber of Commerce board meeting, and so we were having that meeting, and we always get reports from this, and we have a county commissioner, Dana, gives her report every meeting and all that, and so she was giving her report, and she was giving an update on road work.
Yeah.
And this is how big a deal Dragonfly Festival is. They've got some work that they need doing out there and all that.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, you got to move that, delay it, whatever happens. That road has to be A-OK for next weekend when Dragonfly Festival. If you don't have it right for that, we county commissioners aren't going to hear the end of that. So she was kind of talking about the meeting. He's like, no, you got to get that right for Dragonfly Festival, because that, if you mess that up that day, we're gonna have problems.
You know, you just remind me how funny it is, because we had 1 year had not done the Dragonfly Festival because it runs by volunteers, and we didn't have enough. This is when we started going. We didn't have enough volunteers to really make it happen. So the manager said, "Well, we can't do it this year." Well, the following year, boy, we got a lot of phone calls saying, "Hey, a lot of
salty,
volunteers."
huh?
We got a lot of volunteers because they did not want to see that thing canceled.
That's
It was,
awesome.
yeah, so it's pretty cool.
And so, if you like, what's the big deal? Come out next weekend, see it for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Try to get a tour if you can. Go online, call, and see if you can get a tour book. But if you can't, please come out anyway and enjoy. And who knows, maybe you can get bumped. Sometimes if there's a someone doesn't show or something, they'll get in. But come out, come out Saturday. Bring your kids. Sign up for the butterfly release for the kids there.
Exactly, a lot of butterflies. You need to get out there.
Come out there and enjoy some fishing, enjoy the archery with the kids. You know, that's the other beauty of it too. This is that sportsman and nature
good family
working
thing.
together.
It's a good family thing. I tell you,
outdoors people and environmentalists work together. That's
Correct.
where, because they understand the land better than everybody else, and that's what this event's about. And it's about all that.
Yep.
So come see it.
It's cool.
Come be a part. It is a melding of all of us taking care of and loving the land and appreciating the beauties it has.
And all the volunteers, like we got the people that helped us. We can't do it. We have volunteers that work from other refuges. They have known about our festival, and like when I ask for help, they just jump on it because they are so excited to come and help. So
Absolutely.
it's kind of a cool deal.
Yeah, come see the biggest weekend that Bitter Lake has every year. And again, it's next weekend. Friday night kicks off with the Dragonfly Talk and everything. That gets underway about 6 or so, I think.
6:30.
6:30.
Get there. I would say 5:45, 6 o'clock, because it's first come, first serve.
Sure.
And we only got
Limited
like
number
50
spots.
And
seats.
it's once it's full, it's full.
It's full. And then, weather permitting, our astronomy club will take to the stars and go check out some stars and planets and things. And then Saturday morning, like I said, 6:30, kind of kicks off the early bird tour. And then right after that,
that's from 8 o'clock,
everything else
every
goes on
hour.
8 o'clock on. And then
the festival itself, the bulk of it's from 9 to 4.
Gotcha.
Actually 9 to 3, because by 3 o'clock things start kind of petering out.
Sure,
So,
and generally, a warmer part of the day, people are ready to go home at that point, I think. And then, of course, Sunday morning we'll be doing tours again. They'll fire about 9 o'clock.
Correct.
Again, friendsofbitterlake.org has got all the information. If you want to book a tour direct, you can call 575-244-6256. Again, 575-244-6256 to reserve a early bird or wildlife or dragonfly tour.
You got it.
Or sign up for the monarch butterfly release.
Yep, that's it. And if you don't even sign up, normally it's for kids, but we do have some adults. In fact, if we have extra butterflies left over, and you are into
they got to be
butterflies,
released. We need a person to release
you
it.
can come out and do it. So it's a good photo op.
It is, and the kids love it. It's a lot of fun and it's pretty. Yeah, when you see hundreds of butterflies getting let off at the same time, it's kind of neat.
It is, and we've seen. It's interesting because after everything's faded and over the season, we'll be walking the butterfly trail, and then you'll see a monarch butterfly flying around. You're like, oh, cool,
As long as that thing that doesn't happen, that happens on TikTok videos sometimes. You ever see that where like a kid releases like a frog or something, and then a big fish right away? Boom.
What's funny is like the butterflies. A lot of times they don't hang. You barely put them on the finger, and then it takes off.
Gone.
And the kids are like, their face is like, what happened? It's so
You just released it. You didn't want to hang out. Well, they kind of have a mind of their own.
And it's pretty cool to watch them, because even that, like just watching the kids like doing the fishing pool when they catch them. Oh, it's so hilarious to see their faces.
Yeah, come make memories. Come make family memories. Come see a side of our country that maybe you don't see very often.
Yeah.
And come, and who knows, maybe this inspires for more family outings. And and if you loved everything you see next weekend, make sure you come out for Cranes of Cocoa in the fall. That's another awesome experience. Time to, and then check back each season. Come back in the winter months. Come in January. Come back in the spring when that's another busy time of year too. There's lots to see. So, friendsofbitterlake.org. Everything you need to know about Dragonfly Festival, including tour times and sign-ups and all that good stuff too.
Thanks, Mike,
Thank
for
you,
all
Steve.
your help.
Anytime, I'm sure you got about 10 more fires to stomp out, so let you go do that.
Right.
He has big, wide shoes to stomp out all them fires.
There you go.
Thank you, Steve.
All right. Hey, so long.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
It is 8:48. Let's pause for news. Your Chaves County sports update. Lou Dobbs, your Red Apple report and commercial break. Don't go away.
Underserved communities. Among the awards, more than $4.8 million to Penasco Valley Telephone Cooperative. Nearly 400 miles of fiber will be built to complete the projects. And you may have felt the ground shake in the last few days. Back-to-back earthquakes were reported in West Texas and southeast New Mexico since Friday. Many people in southeast New Mexico said they felt the shakers. The first quake was magnitude 2.7 southeast of the community of Coyanosa, Texas. No significant damage was reported. Then early Saturday, a 3.2 magnitude shaker was centered south of White City, New Mexico. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
The truth and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
The same people that promised you keep your doctor, you keep your plan, and you save on average $2,500 a year per family. Millions and millions of Americans lost their doctors, lost their plans. That's government promises. Guaranteed government job and guaranteed government child care, guaranteed government college, guaranteed government retirement, guaranteed government healthy food. How does it work out? Always ends up the same way. Unfulfilled promises and more poverty. And as a result, then you have to calculate how much of your freedoms you gave up in the name of false security. That's the left. And they've become more radicalized. You see it now in Europe, and you see Europe becoming, with under Harris and walls. That is their vision for America.
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Hey, at Blinds.com, they have their Labor Day mega sale. It is here. Blinds.com. Now, at Blinds.com, they make upgrading your home simple, easy, affordable, and there's no better time to score some of the best deals of the season. Now, Blinds.com is the better way to shop for custom window treatments. At Blinds.com, they have award-winning design experts. They'll give you free virtual consultations on your schedule. They can even send samples right to your door. Now, you can do the measuring and installation yourself or let Blinds.com handle all of it. They install unlimited window treatments for one low cost. And at Blinds.com, they have covered over 25 million windows, all backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee. To make upgrading your window treatments non-labor intensive with Blinds.com and their Labor Day mega sale happening right now. For a limited time, save up to 50% off at Blinds.com. Plus, score premium doorbusters up to 50% off right now at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. Future Hall of Fame guard Zach Martin tells you about opening the regular season Sunday in Cleveland against last year's #1 ranked total defense. You'll hear from Zach after this.
A true Dallas Cowboys fan is there for the journey and the destination. This is the season to make your journey count by flying through McAllen International Airport, the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. Whether you're flying down for McAllen's award-winning fall and holiday festivals, or you're a South Texas fan flying up to cheer the Cowboys on, make your journey as satisfying as your destination at the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. McAllen International Airport, above, beyond, at McAllenAirport.com.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
The Cowboys open the season Sunday in Cleveland with 2 rookie starters along the offensive line, Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe. They'll be going against Myles Garrett, last year's NFL Defensive Player of the Year, and a Browns team that was #1 in total defense and pass defense. Veteran Cowboys guard Zach Martin says Dallas gets a little bit of a break in preparation, though, because defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz spent years in Philly playing Dallas twice a year.
There are some unknowns, right? But they got a lot of their defensive guys back from last year, so there's a ton of good tape. And then we went against Schwartz for years there in Philadelphia, and there's a lot of similarities. He brings a little bit of everything, but I think when you turn on Cleveland, it definitely reminds you of how they, got off the ball and penetrated those gaps up front.
Kickoff Sunday at the Browns is 3:25 Central. With your Cowboys report, I'm Christy Scales.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting some sunshine with a few clouds today. Scattered showers around the area, but drier air is moving in. Fairly comfortable daytime highs, though. Our afternoon highs today in the mid-to-upper 70s. Overnight will be clear, lows near 60, and then plenty of sunshine coming up for Wednesday. And still pretty nice on those temperatures, low to mid-80s. Sunny, and we're in the upper 80s on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street opened with losses this morning, kicking off a holiday-shortened week that features another hefty slate of earnings and the government's latest jobs report. U.S. Steel tumbled 4.4% after Vice President Harris told a crowd in Pennsylvania that she opposes the company's planned sale to Japan's Nippon Steel. Boeing shares slid 3.5%. Its stock was downgraded by Wells Fargo ahead of a potential machinist strike. On Friday, closely watched U.S. jobs data could influence the Fed's decision on interest rates later in the month. Another busy week for earnings with Dollar Tree, Dick's Sporting Goods, Broadcom, and Costco all reporting. As Europe is flooded with cheaper Chinese vehicles, Volkswagen says it may have to consider first-ever plant closures on its home turf, Germany. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Hey, Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Trustmark is one of the only roofing companies that's also a licensed commercial and residential general contractor.
Wow.
I know, who cares, right? Well, you should care. You see, a licensed roofer can install a new roof on your home, but really can't handle structural problems underneath. So if your roof needs reframing or your chimney needs a water-diverting cricket, you may need to call a licensed general contractor. And coordinating two companies for your roofing job can get costly and messy fast. As a licensed roofer and general contractor, Trustmark can install a stunning new roof on your home and handle structural issues. This saves you time, money, hassle, and even makes it easier to file an insurance claim. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit us at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Welcome to the Oil Patch, hosted by Artesia Main Street, located at 519 West Main. Join us Saturday, September 14th at 6 p.m. for a vibrant community gathering featuring local makers and bakers, farmers and growers. Discover fresh produce, handmade crafts, and delicious treats, all while supporting our local economy. And don't miss the fun after dark. Stick around for a free movie on the Derrick Floor lawn. Bring your family, grab a blanket, and enjoy a night under the stars. For more information, visit ArtesiaMainStreet.com or Artesia Main Street on Facebook. The Oil Patch Market, where community comes together. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And that's going to do it for us. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The presidential election is entering its final 2-month